Um, what? There it is.
Oh no! I was gonna say, man, what a perfect
We're all coming in, just one at a time. What? I switched, and then there was nothing there. Hi, everybody. Welcome to High Shelf Collective. My name is David. This is all of our lovely folks. Tonight, we are joined by special guest Sean Nittner. Sean, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the scene.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to play a little bit of Fistful of Darkness with you.
Yeah, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. So, for the folks that are new here, welcome. I'm David. The game master tonight is Taylor, and the rest of the lovely folks here with Trina and Mike and Blair. We are all High Shelf Collective. We do actual plays and advice videos and a podcast, and we're just like, we love games. We just love making content about games. And here we are doing a Blades in the Dark hack with Fistful of Darkness. And yeah, you know what? I'm really pumped for this just because I'm a huge fan of Western genre, right? And like all of its iterations, you know, the spaghetti Western era and the stagecoach era and all that stuff. So it's like, I get to bring in all the old favorites.
Yes.
And play them. Real quick announcements on High Shelf Collective. So, of course, tonight is Fistful of Dollars, or Fistful of Darkness. Sorry, Fistful of Dollars.
Or dollars. I don't know.
Different Western there.
Yeah. My apologies. Fistful of Darkness. And then Thursday night will be Mike running Red Markets. It is a game of economic horror plus zombies. The zombies are the least horrific part of that game.
Yeah, I believe it.
The economics are the worst. Because, hey, zombie apocalypse, but you still have to pay rent. So figure that one out. And then on Friday, Taylor is running again Midway Madness, our lady D&D game. Super fun.
With some new ladies. Our crew
And
is
Blair's
so
back
big now. Blair's back.
I get to be back. I'm stationary.
Everybody's partying now. This is so good. Saturday, Mass Effect, our dude Casey, who hacked the world of Mass Effect into the Cyberpunk Red rules. He's going to be running his monthly Mass Effect game on Saturday. And a bunch of us are in that game too, which is fun. And then on Sunday is going to be our D&D game, Rise of Orpheon. I always get this name wrong. Somebody help me out here.
Yeah, Rise of the Orpheon.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
And
that's
Sam
it.
is running
Exactly.
Yeah.
First try.
It's good. It's good. And that one is like, hey, you're all in the woods, and the woods hate you personally, and it's good.
What did you do to the woods, dude?
I have
what
no
did
idea
what
we
did
did to
you
the woods,
personally?
but look, we almost had like 2 TPKs in that first session. Like it
The
was
first
rough.
session.
It was rough.
I made a joke. Man, I hope there's not a grenade. And then there was a grenade in D&D. I was like, wow, this is deadly.
So yeah, this is Collective, folks. We're watching the chat. If you see anything, need anything, of course, let us know. But otherwise, I think, Taylor, those are all of our major announcements right now. Did anybody else have another announcement? I want to say somebody had like a sidebar. Was there one?
Hey, Sean's here. Like, go check out his Aegon stuff and all the other things he's involved in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just did an interview with you guys about Agon that was fantastic, and we just recorded one about Blades that'll be coming out soon. So
Yeah, this is all really
out.
good timing. We did our Aegon, that's out now on the podcast, and then Blades will be coming.
yeah.
So yeah,
Thank you for having me on. It's been a delight.
this is so good. It's so nice to have you here. And we're all going to get to experience this game, I think, for the first time together, because I don't think any of us have played this once. Okay?
I've never
This
even played
Western version?
Blades before, but definitely not this Western.
Here we go. Here we go. Let's get you who've never played it before to run it. This will be awesome.
I'm not kidding you when I say I've read through this book so many times because I've been wanting to play it forever, but Mike's busy with Red Markets.
Okay, there's nobody here who's like, see if I can. There's this little map of Duskfall up in the corner here. I don't know.
Yes!
You know.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, you would be surprised at the number of times people say in various forums, in forums, on Twitter, whatnot, like, John, I'm about to play Blades for the first time. What should I know? And very politely, he often says, read the book. Like, all my best advice, I put in the book. If I had better advice, I would have put it in the book because and not that there haven't been emergent things that have come since then. There are some things that you learn after it's published, but it was playtested for many, many years. So all the the best GMing advice, really did try to get it in there.
I say I've read this book like 3 times. I at least got to, on page 1. I did get to, on this latest run through, at least not read all the lore and the blade specific stuff, seeing as we have the wonderful hack, which is on itch.io. If you search this, I don't think I was smart enough to put
I'll put it in the chat for the Twitch.
Okay, perfect.
The creator of the hack is at Monkey Echo on Twitter.
Oh, fun.
And it is very in depth, and I love it. And I live in anything Weird West, and I'm super excited. Like I said, I've been wanting to play Blades forever, but Mike wouldn't run it for me, so I just had to do it myself. So here we are.
The story of every GM, right? Well, I wanted to play this game, and no one would run it, so here
we are. Here we are.
Mike ran Blades for a year, and now we made him run Blades for a year.
We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again, right?
Yes.
Okay, just for you, Taylor. Thursday, I'll TPK them in red markets, and
Thank you. I appreciate it.
The TPK is the best way to end a game.
Did you just hear the sudden, just like exasperated noise from both me and David when you said that?
But to me, it's thrilling. It's like, ooh, going out with a bang.
Don't speak it into the ether.
Yeah.
Don't even bring it about.
All right. Taylor, bring us in.
All right, let's bring us in. All right, I'm gonna put on a little mysterious sound here, as I'm gonna word vomit for a bit, y'all, to give all of our viewers a little idea and a little refresher for y'all of this general theme, the general vibes we have here. So, it was a dark time turned darker. As if living in the cruel and heartless frontier was not enough, as if living in hell on earth was not enough. In a 2-deep mine near the Sleepy Hollow called Mudwater, they found Hellstone. The old ones say that some things are better left uncovered, and Hellstone is definitely such a thing. I should be doing this in an accent and make it much more immersive. Hold on. Like the original box of Pandora, it was found deep in the earth, and now there's no way undoing it. You think the gold rush turned men into greedy monsters? Think again, because now we have all that and the real thing. The elders, the wise ones, are sure the final days are upon us, that Hellstone is the first omen of the grim doom. The 4 horsemen will come. The white, the red, the black, and the pale horse, along with their riders, will end existence and bring judgment and redemptions. Holy men in the area, disheartened by the ignorance and politics that created a culture and economy around the Hellstone, packed up their belongings and left to start a new settlement, void of Hellstone's influence. Desert Hollow. That is where our adventure will take place. Hellstone's influence has spread from the Mudwater mine and permeated the Hellstone Canyon, with monsters and demons, spirits, ghosts, mutants, undead, soulless killers. Hordes of them hunting in the night, ravaging the countryside, and swarms of living nightmares attacking from the skies. But the land around Desert Hollow, known as the Lord's Promise, has only seen a few monstrous incidents in the last 50 years of its existence. The elders believe this is due to the hard ban on Hellstone in the town. Though Desert Hollow is not void of corruption, danger, debauchery, as any town in the West is, its residents hold many vices, and the country itself has dealt with a long drought and earthquakes that have seemed to rebuild the lands between the town and Desert Hollow mine. And here, in Desert Hollow, the center of the Lord's Promise, as those holy men called it, is where our story starts. But before we meet our crew, we're gonna good old movie style. Our camera is gonna pan through the desert to the edge. Let me pull up my map just for my names. Towards Hollow Mine. There you can see the orange sun starting to rise over the stiff summit plateau. You can see a bit of it, little nocturnal animals skittering back into safety in this kind of rocky landscape. Tumbleweeds drifting along the prairie. It's dry. The ground has kind of those cracks of just who knows when a drop of water has fallen on it. And for a moment, all is silent as the day is beginning anew until a low rumble begins to emanate out of the open maw of the Desert Hollow mine. The drought-plagued earth begins to crack and shift even more, lines of it leading out of this canyon. Chunks of rocks starting to fall off the hillside and the edge of the plateau. And this rumbling kind of starts to grow in volume, turning almost human-like. The earth seems to scream out in agony. Then, as quickly as it began, the frontier quiets again. Our little camera has been panning in or zooming in here on the entrance to this mine. Very shabby now, with cracked beams and supports fallen, some rocks that have kind of tumbled down and been kind of shook away from this cave wall. As it zooms in, we see a hand kind of pop out of the dirt and shove away some like wooden beams, as it seems someone is digging their way out of the mine. But that's not our problem yet. We
Yet.
are in Desert Hollow now. Let me stop my creepy music. Where we're inside first, or right outside the sheriff's office / jailhouse. Pretty much every building in this town has like multi-use purposes. It's been, 50 years or so, but it's just easier. There's not a lot of wood out here, for the exception of the lone tree, which I think our dear Cora here would not let anyone cut down for parts, which is where we see David, Heather, Mike, Blair. Your 4 characters have walked from this tree and are currently standing outside of the sheriff's office jailhouse here, about to head in. Let's start with you, David. Give us a little description. Who are you? What you about?
So Virginia is your typical Western, 2 big irons on his hip, and a dusty, cowboy hat that's so much road. It's like a light. It's the same color of the dirt that's on the ground. Okay, that's how worn this hat is. Okay,
Whatever color it used to be.
yeah, whatever color it used to be, it ain't that color anymore. There's some cracks forming in it, but he's got his nice like city shirt on with the buttons. Okay, he's here to present. He's here to look good. Be presentable to the people. He looks a little lost because he hasn't been here for very long. Kind of getting a read, but or he's met other good compatriot. He's hoping to. He's got some hope in his eyes. He thinks that we can make something help these. Apparently with mine. But either way, he's dirty and dusty, but he's trying his best to look presentable here in this town. Just come fresh off the road.
What about Cora? Who's our
Cora,
contact here?
Cora is the opposite. She is very clean and put together. She has a button up blouse, I guess, with jacket over it. She just looks very, very prim and proper. Her hair all done perfectly. She is just kind of nodding and continuing to do basic introductions and just generally talking about the people that she's with and how good they are at their things, just generally being optimistic and kind about them, and even probably saying some optimistic and kind things about the sheriff and whoever might be within the jail as well, because everybody has their hard times, but everyone just does their damn best as well.
I love it. All right. What about you, Mike? Who are you playing? What's their look, their vibe? What do they do?
I am Ichabod Mitchell Itchy Huggins. Don't know why they call me that. I never carried that far down. He is bony, weathered, with a beard, a bowler hat, and a threadbare waistcoat. And then, depending on who you're talking to in town, he's either a degenerate gambler or a skilled tracker and wilderness guide. So, who has made his way here from somewhere back east that he's trying to avoid going back to.
Cora led with the skilled hunter and tracker.
Right.
When she
Of course
introduced
you
him.
would.
Very, very good, very
This
good.
goes very nice.
We did need more people. I forgot to mention, Virginia is named. That's where Virginia. Right. Nobody actually knows. Got a man from Virginia. Everybody started calling him Virginia, and now the name in this town is Virginia.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Love it. All right. And then Blair, who you playing?
I am playing Eleanor Clark. She is an older woman that is dressed in all black, has her hair probably up, and then is wearing kind of like a wide brim hat since she's out in the sun. And if she wasn't wearing black, you'd notice a bunch of like smudges of something all over her. She's not very clean. Hair's probably messed up. But she lives on like the outskirts of town, and you can tell that being in town is really, she's starting to get really nervous. She probably has her arms crossed and she's like looking around. If Cora's like talking, she's, occasionally will nod like she's listening, but is more focused on what's around, and is probably pretty eager to get out of town.
Awesome. Well, the four of y'all will, Virginia or Cora, whichever kind of takes the lead, opens the door to the sheriff's office, and y'all file in. And this is, very like bare bones, stereotypical. You've got maybe two little cells off to the side that just have basic key lock. It looks like probably if you shoved up against it enough, it would fall over. But the majority, I feel like, was it in the Andy Griffith show where there was like a guy that would always come and be in the jail cell,
Yes.
drunk overnight, and he would just open the door and walk himself out?
He just let himself out. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that Itchy's got that sort of treatment here. They don't even lock him in anymore. It's just where he sleeps sometimes.
It's a cot to sleep in.
Yeah.
Tilly, you said that like everything kind of combined, like everything in this town sort of has to serve multiple purposes.
Mhm.
If it's not to be farcical at all, but if it's okay with you, I think there's a little bit of cooking going on, and there's some jam preserving happening in this thing. There's a big copper kettle, and there's a bunch of glass faces, and there's some masonry, and somebody's screaming, howling like the devil because she keeps burning her hands trying to do from within the cell. This is sort of like real criminals have to actually do labor, because the jam preservation is also part of it. It's sort of squeezed in.
Yeah, it's
Service community, yeah.
Yeah, it's Sheriff Strawberry Preserves, like all the way, or Sheriff Strawberry Spread, more S's. Always at the general store, and you can see they're
Made by the caring hands of real scoundrels.
Yep. I like it. Let's make it. I think
Next shirt idea.
Yeah, right.
I think Virginia,
God, we have to do this.
your contact of the marshal is probably more located in Mudwater. They may be kind of making their way the area, knowing kind of why you're here. And so this is just the sheriff, and we'll say he's like a very Sam Elliott type of guy, like kind of hardened, been here a bit, big mustache, but pretty sweet if you get to know him. We'll name him Sam. Why not? Sheriff Sam Strawberry Spread.
Oh God, hold on.
Made with 11 hands of real scoundrels.
Just kind of like he's leaned back in the desk and kind of looks over at the jam making and kind of just shakes his head and sees y'all coming in and waves. But before I let y'all loose, Shot, who is making jam over there?
Making jam over there with her Buccaneers hat, clearly like out of place, stolen from someplace. The Buccaneers hat kind of pulled low. Sarah Kelly, aka Lion Sarah, is not skillfully making jam. This is one of those like, you tell me I gotta grip that out of that boiling water and pull it out. The devil's works in there, and she's just doing her best. at trying to make Sheriff Sam's Sheriff Sam's strawberry spread, because that was apparently the only task that she was capable of. I think there's like a broom that's like half woven, and all the sticks didn't wouldn't stay in it. So broom making was out.
Making.
Yeah, exactly. So she's in there, and it's clearly the thing where it doesn't seem like she could just walk out of the cell, but obviously some kind of rapport has been built up that she is able to do this. And Sam is very cognizant of her there. She couldn't break out easily, but she's not like, locked in with nothing to do.
Yeah. There's probably at one point in time you need another jar and you just open the door, walk to the closet, grab one.
Yeah.
Go back
I think that's where we are. She's got a vest with various little pendants and talismans and whatnot of things that she's acquired along the way. And she's, a lot of Calamity Jane from Deadwood is my inspiration. So she's what's the rating on this show, by the way?
Yeah, we're PG-13.
Okay, all right. There's lots of swearing going on.
Yeah.
There's lots of foul language unbefitting for those of polite society.
Yeah, we get one F-bomb a movie, right? So
That is so not true, but okay.
Yes.
I break that rule every stream.
But I give the guests, okay?
Love it.
Is Cora just like slowly like putting her hands like over her ears?
No, Cora has been out here long enough, for a good time, and she understands that people speak a little differently out here. She does take out a salve that she has and does hand it, walks over to Sarah and hands it to her, for her fingers, and is like, "You're in here again? Didn't we just talk about this?"
I think Sarah sort of sets down what she's doing. She just sticks her hands through, go ahead and wrap, just hands.
Yeah,
through the
she starts to. Yeah.
And she's like, "People gotta eat, Cora. People gotta eat." And
I told you to come by, and I would help with that.
okay, nothing personal, but I want to eat real food. I want to eat chicken. I want to eat pheasant. I want to eat pig. I want to eat ham. And your roots and veggies just weren't cutting it. I needed the mayor's dinner. That's all I did.
Yeah, I think
The
we need
mayor?
excitement of the mayor stealing from the mayor, if we're being honest.
Well, there was a lot of food there. I'm sure no one would have noticed it missing if not for finding me in the middle of the kitchen. Anyway, yeah, it really hurts right there. That's
She just there's a little bit of a press, as you kind of give excuses, I'm sorry. Oh, hold on.
A little bit of abuse.
Kiss that, make it better. Ow.
Love it.
So,
Well, yeah, I think the sheriff stands up and kind of nods his head to you and goes for a handshake.
yeah.
What
And
range?
you'll step forward and Sheriff, I don't believe we've had the pleasure. Well, folks around here call me Virginia, on account of that's where I'm from. Marshall asked me to come together a posse. And where it is, your little captive or prisoner, or what she's been charged with, other than eating a bit of ham or something like that. But either way, where it is, she's the only one to have gone out to the into the Devil's Canyon back.
She looks up, surprised, and then is like, "Oh yeah, absolutely. Keep."
Surprised, like, really? Oh, okay.
Well,
It's just like the only one. Never mind. I'll just be over here.
Itch it away. So
Well.
we're gonna need to, come up to some kind of agreement so I can borrow Miss. Couple days.
the mayor's real upset,
I think I kind of trashed the place.
Well, the
Yeah.
best thing that we could do is get Sarah out of here for a little bit then, so that he isn't aware where she's at.
You could say that she's on a danger and may not come back. I would like to use sway.
That's-
to try and convince him.
Call it community service.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, here's where I tell you how to do things, right?
Yes.
So you're gonna
Sure.
roll that good old sway. We'll give a plus 1d for assistance because community service is a damn good idea from Itchy.
I was going to say I will help there. Yeah.
Is my
I'd say
position
send the grit for,
is my position am I controlled in this situation? Am I risking a lot right now?
No, yeah, you're pretty.
All right, I'll take.
Sam, so just Sheriff Sam here is just like kind of annoyed.
what's the
hearing her.
effect here? Is this a standard roll? Oh, we've already got it. Did you just roll or was
No,
that
I haven't rolled yet. So yeah, am I on a? Is this like a standard effect, or am I maybe because of the assistance? Do I get like a great success? Maybe the assistance got me up in effect instead of extra dice.
Sure.
Usually
Really
that's
lucky
not
I don't know how to
Yes.
play this game.
No, I know. All right. I'll stick with standard. I don't want to bully the GM. All right. And then so 1 bonus die, right?
You're talking to me. I bully every GM.
I know. You and I cannot play in the same game anymore. All right. It's just mean. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna get 1 bonus die because Itchy Huggins gave me some community assistance.
Giving you the assist.
All right. Cool. We'll do that.
Not bad.
And is this like a 5 and 6 success sort of
Yeah.
situation, right?
It's a mixed success. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm. You take the highest die. Is the
This is the highest. Okay.
is the thing.
Yeah. So it's like
that's
it's
right.
like a win, but like I don't know. There's some extra hair on this one.
Actually, yeah.
Virginia to deal with.
Extra hair on this. Yeah. And technically, it's you succeed with a minor complication, and that can be a consequence, that can be harm, that could be reduced effect, all those sorts of things. You know.
Can I suggest?
Yes, absolutely.
That Virginia is going to have to take custody of Sarah, and if I don't return with Sarah, then I have to like atone for that, or account for that. You know, like I'm taking on her. She's in my charge, right? And if I don't bring her back, then I owe the mayor something, you know, or I have to finish out the rest.
Yeah.
Something
I
along
like
those
that.
lines.
I think he's like, well, if we're being honest, I think she's doing me more of a disservice being here. That jam just don't look right.
Yes.
And
We look
honestly,
at the jars; they're brown.
There's like water in the jars because she's not sealing
Yeah,
them properly.
I don't think that those are sealing correctly.
They're hot. How do you supposed to get your hands on? There's like some mitts hanging up over there.
Cora's
I
just,
told her so many times.
she doesn't like to listen.
What's that? What were
You
saying?
don't like you don't like to listen.
Well, did she spend the night in this cell? Because the other one has the better cot.
I was saving that for you, Itchy, just in case. But like I said, she's doing me more of a disservice here, and the mayor's a little preoccupied. I like that community service. Maybe get some riffraff off the street.
I am here in the
More.
room.
Yeah, I'll figure out a way to swing it better if the mayor comes asking. But yeah, Virginia, you must be important enough. The marshal sent you here himself, so you or the marshal's going to hear from it if Lion Sarah here ain't back and in here for at least another week.
I think I'm gonna kind of look around at this like ragtag group that we've assembled this morning. Like, yeah, I think we can. Make that work. Sarah, are you interested in taking a little stroll out into the?
I am nobody's possession, charge, or ward, but
Nah, you
I
just
could
got a state
stretch my arms.
Well, I understand the position you're taking here, but either that or you stay in the cell. I'd like to bring you on board as part of our posse. payment.
I think she opens up the cell door, which we all realize has not been locked this entire time,
Yeah.
right? You know,
Mhm.
stay going. Or maybe the keys are in it. You know, they're just sitting. Like,
Yeah.
you can just sort of reach through the bars and turn the keys, right? And she comes out and she gets right up to you, and unless you're very short, I think she is shorter than you, and she sort of like gets right up to you and is like looking you dead in the eyes, and says, "You do what you got to do, and I'll do what I got to do. Let's go be a posse or something." That sounds like sounds better than making jam. Ow, God, thank you.
I think I know the
You're
type.
more
Yeah,
than
so
welcome to take some of those jars with you if y'all
I wouldn't
trust it.
recommend it. Don't.
It's either going to be very burnt or basically
One
molasses
stuff in
at
her
this
belt
point.
already.
yeah.
I wouldn't eat any. Never mind.
I think it's best if we get going.
All right. Well, good luck to you. Here. I'm assuming, and he'll kind of like pull out some like documents and stuff. If the marshal sent you for the bounty, this would be the information I guess you'd need.
Oh.
I've been doing a little bit of investigating and helping, so there's my notes.
Notes are in here. That's valuable. Thank you so much for your care and attention.
If you're very welcome.
I want to leave with these documents immediately. I want to talk to him anymore.
I think really
You
quickly, Eleanor is gonna wait till like everybody passes out, and she's gonna go into the jail cell, pick up one of the jam jars, just like nod to the sheriff and go, "For research," and then kind of like put it in her satchel and like walk out.
Nice.
He looks a little confused and just sits down and lights up a big old cigar, kicks back, enjoying the quiet in here now. No
definitely
more
less quiet.
cursing.
Constantly hurting herself on the stove.
And y'all walk out onto the patio, and you kind of peruse through these documents here, Virginia. And you've gotten a little bit of a primer from the marshal.
He'll like spread them out on the table. Everybody.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
kind of sit down and look, and you know that this bounty is for Elmer Ace Emerson. He is a pretty talked about sharpshooter, outlaw, stagecoach robber, kind of a big docket of offenses, but he has gone missing for the last 10 years. No one knew where he was, but he took a lot of money with him when he disappeared. And rumor has it, according to Sheriff Sam, that Elmer Ace Emerson has been undercover here, living a life as a miner for the Hollow Mine. Been in town, last 5 years or so. Pretty much any y'all would just know him as, oh crap, where'd I put his real name? Or his fake name, not real name. He's got multiple names,
Yeah, his alias.
Like any respectable person does.
Yeah, exactly. Carl Waters is what he's been going as here. Said he was just a miner and didn't want to be a part of no Hailstone Mines. He wanted to be part of an upstanding establishment like Desert Hollow.
And
But
this-
is he an upstanding citizen?
He's just a miner. You'll just know him. He comes to the general store sometimes. Likes to drink a lot and chain smokes. But, those seem to be the worst vices that he's shown, is just getting drunk.
And what is there I'd like to read through. How does the sheriff put together that Elmer is one and the same with this
Yeah.
undercover minor operative? You know, like
Yeah.
how do you connect A and B here?
Yeah. It's these notes are very akin to just like a conspiracy theory kind of board vibe, a bit of just like little things. But it seems that Sheriff Sam is actually Sheriff Sam II, and his father, Sam Senior, was also a sheriff, but not even a sheriff. He was straight up like Pinkerton, like detective. He was like up there. But as a lot of lawmen do, met the end. Not to anyone in particular, just a general shootout. And he had been tracking Mr. Elmer Ace Emerson. And so Sheriff Sam had some notes of his, and that Elmer Ace Emerson had a very interesting kind of birthmark of sorts, or scar, where it was, kind of a discoloration, a little lighter pigment, and a interesting kind of wavy shape on his chin, or on his cheek here. And well, Carl is usually pretty covered in soot. This is the main tell, or the main point for a sheriff here is he's new to town, he lays low. New to town, again, 5 years, new to most people, and has that scar discoloration going on.
Yeah, I mean, we've probably had drinks with Carl Waters. We've probably kvetched about sore backs and working in the field. He's always seemed like he had nothing to hide. I guess that's true of many of us.
Well, I mean, it sounds like he shares the same vices as you, Itchy. So are you aware of him?
I don't know. Does he play cards? Or is he just in the saloons?
I don't think he plays cards as much. Like, I think he pretty much avoids gambling, like to the point of, hey, just come on, play. And he's like, no, I'm not going to. If it's pushed enough, he's like not about it. But he loves, like I said, being in there drinking. He plays the piano. He'll play some songs in the saloon some night. Like, he enjoys hanging out with y'all and doing the things while you're gambling. But he himself is like, I'm not about it.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen him around. He's been there before.
Have I seen?
Well, this sounds like the easiest bounty we've ever had. The easiest bounty I've ever had to go after. Let's go to the saloon and pick him up. Simple as that.
What were you saying, Eleanor?
Oh, I was just asking if I've seen him at the general store recently.
Yeah, probably so. Going in for his just, maybe ordered a pair of shoes. Had them delivered for work shoes.
How does he get on with Elijah, who runs the general store?
Yeah, I think he's probably more business than anything. I think any of y'all that have been around him know that he's pretty dry, pretty just to the point, until it's out at the saloon and party. And so it's always cordial. Like, he doesn't have a lot of bad things to say about him. He's not outwardly rude or anything, but also not buddy. He just kind of slides under the radar.
A person on the run would. So this minor fella, Carl. You think we're at the saloon? Where else would he be?
Well, what time of day is it?
Yeah.
So we are right. We'll say we're getting to high noon, because when else am I going to be able to say it? And it's been the middle of the day.
How dare you bring that in here?
How dare you?
It would be me if I didn't. And yeah, I think, maybe one of y'all kind of steps off the porch and kind of looks to see where the sun's at, as the words of Sarah are still echoing in your mind of, this is the easiest bounty. When y'all hear screaming one person, and yelling and just all sorts of noise coming through town. And you kind of look off the porch here. You get a pretty good shot of the whole main strip of town, and you see busting past, kind of coming around some of the houses and into the main area. Now you can hear that someone's just, Sheriff Sam, Sheriff help, Sheriff help, and rush as you see this person running out, miner's clothes, little headlamp covered in like solid dust. Bits of it kind of pushed away around his face. You can see like he's been sweating and running, and it's starting to kind of run down his eyes as he just rushes up the stairs past y'all and pushes the door open and just falls into the sheriff's office in front of y'all, and just like you gotta go, it's real bad, Sheriff.
I'm just gonna like prop the door open so we can all listen without actually being part of the scene. Just like, well, let's just hear how this plays out real quick, and I'm just gonna be like while we all listen.
Yeah, this guy's just on the ground, just like panting. You see the sheriff hops up and grabs like a pitcher of water and just dumps it on his head, getting some of that dirt and stuff, and calm down. He's like, I have too many tabs. Where are my names? Where's my name tab?
Cora is going to ignore Virginia and go and help this person and listen in that way.
Do I have two? Oh, I am so dumb.
Lies.
Y'all remember when I was like, why is my audio doubling? I had 2 roll 20s.
Nice. That explains it.
Yeah.
Happened to the best of us.
That's good.
There it is. Now we know why.
Too many tabs. Just too many tabs.
But yeah, so you walk in, Cora. The rest are like kind of looking as the sheriff has just dumped water on him and takes his kind of little hard hat, little lamp helmet off of him and stands him up, and it's just like, Charlie, you gotta snap out of it. You gotta tell me what's going on right now.
We're gonna
set in his voice is concerning because he was just talking to y'all like this, and he's like, "What the fuck is wrong? Like, what is happening?"
We're gonna set Charlie down in the chair that is closest to the door,
Okay.
Where everyone else is listening in at. And as the sheriff is telling him to tell his story, Cora is checking to make sure that he doesn't have a concussion or anything like that.
Gotcha. So you are looking them over. Definitely beat up, bruised, but for the most part, pretty okay. Helmet super dented in, but it doesn't look like whatever they've dealt with has been too traumatic physically. This guy looks very traumatized, but other than like scratches and stuff that you can easily bandage, but it doesn't, nothing horrible. He's like, Sam,
breathe.
Yes.
What in? 3, 1, 2, out. Okay, one more time. Breathe. I know you have miner's lung. Hold it. Breathe.
You are the calm center of the world.
Yep. Okay.
Let the airflow through you.
You good?
Yeah, I'm drinking water. Hold on.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was going to work. We got there right before sunrise. We were gathered all of our stuff, going in, and I forgot that I was supposed to grab an extra sack of the dynamite, so I ran out of the mine to go grab that, and I was walking back in when the whole place started shaking. Like it was like those earthquakes we've been having, but it was like tenfold. It was like it was happening right under my feet. And I looked down, and the world started cracking and splitting. And then it sounded like, I don't know, like screaming in my ear. And then all the rocks started falling down. And by the time I was able to get out to the front of the cave, everybody else is stuck in there. And I don't know. I heard some people yelling, but I don't know if they're okay. I don't know I tried to move some rocks and some more fell, and I thought the best thing was just to come here and get some other help.
After hearing that, Eleanor has like stopped listening and is just wide-eyed looking up and down the street, making sure like nothing followed him, and is just like keeping very close watch, nervously checking that out.
When you do, and you're looking, you kind of look in the direction of the mine, and y'all can always see from the distance. Like I said, these earthquakes, for those that have been here, have been happening pretty, not frequently, but enough to kind of take note. And everybody just assumes it's Mudwater's doing something, or the Hellstone or the mines. It's something over there is going wrong. But it's causing a lot of just changes in the scenery and everything around here. One of the more noticeable thing looks like some rocks had just started like jutting out of the middle of the plains, like a new rock formation in one of these like giant cracks that are called the Blades. And it looks like, as you look over, you can see just red dust kind of coming up, not smoke or anything, but just the dust of this countryside. And it looks like there's an additional blade, and that is very close to the mines. It looks like it's definitely something shifted in the earth very quickly. But anyway, you gotta go.
Sheriff.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Well, unfortunately, a lot of times when things go wrong, my extra hands are the miners.
Right.
Y'all,
Yep.
y'all were going for Elmer.
For a bounty, yes.
If he's alive, he's there. Y'all want to be my extra hands? I can see if maybe we can. I don't know. The individuals at the Morning Star Funeral Home and Mortuary are a little odd, but they're building a lot. They must have muscles. I can try and gather some more help. Just get the rocks out or something.
Outside, shaking his head.
Yeah, Lion Sarah is looking at Virginia like, you want, like, I know you came here for a bounty. You want to go after this madness? And she's looking at you like, I think maybe we should go get a drink.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we should leave. Maybe this is not such a great deal after all. She is definitely not excited about going off for this, but also is not going to betray that sort of trust that they established. She's not going to run off, but. Not excited.
I think you all just see Virginia. Like he just does not want to do it. But is not.
The sheriff's already like putting on his like vest and tightening it up and grabbing his hat and gun out of the drawer.
Can we say that Eleanor has made like a crafted like high powered like spyglass of sorts, and is like looking at if we can like see the mine, is like looking at it, trying to see if there's any movement or anything?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'll watch as Eleanor kind of walks off of the porch. You're going to kind of walk past the, a little outcropping of houses and get a better view as you look that direction. I said it's very hazy. It's high noon, so it's real hot now, and you see those little heat waves going and the dust mixing in it. But you do now see that there is what looks to just be kind of a giant crack going down the side of the plateau that centers directly over where the mine is.
So she's gonna have it.
No people, nothing.
She's gonna have a real like intense action movie moment. Just be looking at it, just have a, well, I'll be damned, and like put it.
The focus goes from the end of the spyglass to rack focus on you.
Yeah,
I'll
be
damned.
Yeah.
I think Virginia's gonna just like put his voice into that room with the sheriff and like, Sheriff, you're going to need to get those hands if you want those rocks moved. We'll have our bounty to go after.
Understandable. Let me go try and gather up some
Anybody
forces.
outside notice that like Virginia's hands are not roughed and calloused. He is not a rock moving.
Not a rock calling. Yeah.
All right. So I think the sheriff with that just kind of walks off the porch and runs over. There's the dry saloon, an inn named like haha dry saloon because holy men made the town
Yeah.
full of booze, not actually dry. Full of it. That also butts up to like an apothecary, a fur trader, some other kind of craftsman's. And you see him kind of run in and hear him kind of yelling for help, and some people running out, looks like going towards their houses to grab, better boots, gloves, those sort of things. So it looks like kind of rallying some troops.
I feel like we're this is the direction, whether we like it or not, that we're going to end up. Do we want to cut to us on some horses riding out there? Is that the kind of?
I was going to say like Virginia gets Cora together. Like, all right, we need to get our supplies together. So yeah, I think that's where we're at too. Like it feels like we have all the information we're gonna get. We need to get out there. As long as we're not the ones moving the rocks, we have a chance.
Love it. Alrighty, so we do just that, and we cut out all of you on your horses, and you're coming in. Some people had left a little previous to y'all, so you're coming in with the sheriff barking orders and some people moving some rocks. A carriage or like a wagon is coming up a little bit behind y'all that looks to have kind of wheelbarrow and bigger things as you come up, and this, like I said, this just plateau goes up. You're like looking up at the bottom of the mesa. This area that you're in is just red dirt. What prairie grass and shrubs can live on it with little water are very hard everywhere you walk from just absolutely moistureless. And the mine entrance itself, pretty basic mine entrance with some wooden timbers kind of holding it up, that now you see some have just broken in and there is that crack now all of y'all can see that kind of goes up from the center of the door, and then some cracks in the ground kind of snaking out of it. Definitely,
I'm sure that's
the
fine.
epicenter of it. Totally great.
Seems safe.
Y'all see let's see what was Graham's first name, Blair? Do you remember the grocery
Elijah.
store? Elijah. Y'all see Elijah Graham. He runs the general store in just because we're gonna say he's buff as hell, and like he's got like sleeves all rolled up, has this giant boulder.
If he fixes wagons for a living, that man is a giant. There's no other body type that can fix a wagon.
Big guy just comes like walking out, chunks it off to the side, like a foot or so away, like more than you think you could throw a rock like that, and just kind of nods to y'all and turns around and walks in. We're getting close. We can hear some people. They're yelling at us, but doesn't seem all are accounted for.
Go time. Let's put a plan together. Right? This kind of situation is pretty easy to just go in, assault style. Together, moving as a group, trying to find our guy before he whirls away somewhere deeper. Also keep it quiet. Stealthy. The feel of the room. How do you all think?
I don't think we have to worry about being quiet. Everybody's yelling and banging and screaming and hollering and farting and doing everything, getting out of here. I think we can just walk ourselves in. It's not like they can get out. As long as we keep an eye on the door, he can't slip past us.
All right.
I say we just stroll in.
Is no one concerned about the giant crack in the mountain right above the mine?
We'll have to figure that out when we get there, but we need to get our guy first.
I mean, based on my experience, that's just a release of the stresses that were inside the mine, and now everything's much better off.
See, it's all better. Itchy says so.
I
Our
think it's
resident
just got a good
geologist.
point.
He is pretty trustworthy, I would agree.
Alrighty.
So are we gonna
assault-
assault? Is that what our plan is? I think that's our plan. Right? I mean, like, because none of us have like we're not like an arcane
Point attack.
group. And I guess we're assaulting through the front door, right? That's our point of attack is the front door of this mine, or the front entrance of the mine, right?
I mean, what we're going after we're going after Carl, Ace Emerson.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think we're just pushing our way through.
Like we have all these miners, we have all these like rescuers, we have all these people to deal with. But
yeah,
he's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Or is this like just to ask the question, is this more like a social thing? Because there's all these people, and we have to like work the room to get to our guy. I mean, we work the disaster scene.
Yeah.
Like also disasters. I don't know.
Right. We might need to get people to help us clear a path, etc. I could see that. I could see it being a social role.
That was going to be my question: is it a travel one where the route is like having to get through all this to get inside?
Oh my god!
Through like rubble stuff.
You have to.
Okay, I don't know if this is allowed. Someone knock me down if this is not allowed. But since Eleanor is just constantly like making things and crafting all the time, I figured she would maybe have rigged up some kind of like weird contraption thing that's kind of just like a little grenade.
Wait. We'll get to that. When you need a grenade, then you do the checkboxy to get yourself a grenade and roll the thing.
That's when you flash back to stuff like that.
Yeah, you're like, oh, here's a great moment for grenade. You're like, flashback.
During the run.
I think
not a great moment for a grenade.
Not yet.
So it's a question: what's our approach to getting in? If our approach is blow it all sky high, then that's probably an assault plan. Or
if we're using the grenade right now, that's a good point.
If it's use weird technologies, then it's a beyond plan, and the arcane power is this device you made, which we could go with if that's our primary way of we think that we're getting in here is through this arcane element. So, I think despite Sarah's convention about just walk in and grab him, I do feel like it's either a social connection or busting our way in, which could be assault or beyond if we're doing it primarily with Eleanor's device. Yeah.
Oh, what do you think, Mike?
I feel like it's probably more either assault or beyond than social.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I would say, yeah. I feel like
But between those two, I don't have like a real
Horsemen race.
Well, yeah. I think Eleanor's got a fun idea. Why don't we call it a beyond plan, and our arcane power is whatever contraption you have. So we'll see how it goes.
Getting through like some special way that's not.
Yeah, right.
Yes. You use your fancy contraption in front of all these other people to watch.
I mean, I will say, Eleanor does not care. She'll use it. She doesn't care. If we want to, like, for, could we tell everybody to get back?
Sure.
And then we could, or she could just like.
Or are we like going around the side of one of these other cracks, like some special thing, like I got to go to this crack, and that'll get us into this other way because you have some sort of like hellstone magicry that we don't fully understand.
That is I actually like that. I think that's what she would do is like, if that's like the go around to the side and then just blame it on, it was another earthquake. Put it in the door,
Could it be like Cora kind of leans over to Eleanor's like, do you have one of your contraptions?
I always have one of my contraptions.
Right,
I wonder if that would work.
Power that you're.
So I'm I'm picturing just like a very steampunky like circle with like a very like steampunk bottom and then maybe like a glass top, and then inside it has some like she's somehow liquefied some of this hellstone that maybe is like a bright red we're gonna go with
Seems on point.
and like maybe if it like if you like kind of jostle it a little bit, it kind of lights up a little bit more. So how you set it off is you literally just kind of like shake, and then you set it, and then you walk away.
It's the shake stick, and then you have to run away.
She does not make
glow
safe
stick.
shit.
You have to wait for it to like glow. It's just like enough to agitate it and be like,
what does the canister itself blow, or does it like the liquid seep into the cracks and then explode in there and like open up the wine? Like, I think either is cool, but I just realized like if we have a crack already, it could like seep in and push it out with hell.
I would, maybe like just the way that it's like been liquid. Okay. Maybe why you have to shake it. Okay, now I'm getting really into it. So
this is good.
The top half is the liquefied hellstone. Bottom half, gunpowder. You shake it, and it breaks like this very thin layer of glass between them, and you have just enough time to set it in the crack and book it.
It rips a hole in reality.
Yeah.
Hellstone gunpowder.
I mean, that feels like a perfect way to make the engagement roll, is starting with that and seeing if we if it puts us in a controlled riskier death, after it goes off.
Yeah. Let's see how good that goes. All right. So now I have to see if we have any major advantages or disadvantages. How?
So there's this like big rescue effort, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all busy, like over there. We're over off to the side. We have some time to like examine a crack, get it just right. Maybe seems like we're
My
not.
My thought is, how many experiments has Eleanor done with this?
Nice.
To know if this
that's
is
the right question to
working.
ask.
She lives so far, and she lives so far out of town that she's probably, started very small, like in her house with like little, like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, like chemistry set, and then
all of her fingers.
Do we get the flashback scene of like her kitchen windows from the outside just blowing out with black smoke?
That's why there's always some kind of like smudge of like gunpowder on her face, just like wouldn't come off.
It's how Cora knows Eleanor so well, because Eleanor comes to her to get patched up without any questions asked, or not Cora. Any questions asked that are going to go. My fingers. Yeah. That's why you have all your fingers, is because of Cora.
This one has a very visible scar where something was sewn into it, but it's good. It works.
We figured it out.
I would say that she's probably. This is probably one of her bigger projects, because she wants to make stuff that's like effective for if there's ever a need to like fight the evil that's in the area and stuff like that. Have there been, the most experiments? Who's to say? But it's signed off enough in her book where she brought maybe like under part of her skirt. There's just kind of this belt of like 5. And so it's enough
at least experiments, plural. Like, more than one.
More than one.
So
it's enough that it's time to
this
do
right, or doing this right as I'm looking through the like engagement rule section. Because is it particularly bold or daring?
I think
very much.
I feel like
that brings it to 2d6. Does the plan expose vulnerability of their target or hit them where they're weakest? It's coming from a new place. like they're expecting people to come through the front door. They're also vulnerable because they don't know you exist, right? Look, I'm just very good at making y'all's life easier. So tell me if it's wrong.
Yeah, we're taking these.
Can any friends or contacts provide aid or insight? Probably. I mean,
real quick, Blair, are you clicking on planning and load? That's how you do the. Wait, no. How do you start the engagement roll? How does Blair start the engagement? Where's the button?
It says a fortune roll. Is that like somewhere specific, or are we just rolling?
If you, I think it's on the cruise sheet. Let's see. There it is. On the cruise sheet.
Oh, roll engagement right there, middle down.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So Blair,
right under the
since it's your device, you should click the button go through the drop.
You're beautifully.
Sorry, on the posse page, is that where I'm looking?
Yep.
Okay.
Underneath the column where it has the upgrades.
Oh yes. Okay,
There's
roll
one where it
engagement.
says like, yeah.
This character
Okay,
is so
so I'm gonna say it is very good. Yeah, so anyone who wants to play this, the character sheets that's up for roll 20 makes it a bajillion times easier. It's awesome. So you've got the normal
blades,
D.
they're in there too. They're great. Love it.
Yes.
Throwing it
Got
out.
the normal D, 1D, then bold, then vulnerable for sure. I think he's not. I'm not gonna get, or I'll say it'll kind of cancel out because there is the can your friends contacts provide aid? Y'all kind of figured out where to go and help. But if this does go badly, there's a lot of people now in a cave that you could possibly cave in even more.
Some people might die. That's true.
So
That's
I'm gonna let that kind of like the other element cancel out the friend help here. So we're gonna stay with the 3.
Okay.
He's great. There's no bad engagement rolls.
Yeah.
So 3. Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Oh, look at that 6!
6.
Good job, Eleanor.
Oh my
You got
god!
a good start.
Oh my god! We're not like desperate.
Yep.
Like I said,
Good
easiest
result.
bounty ever.
You are in a controlled position when the action starts. So, explain to me the action you are doing that is going to start this off. How do you wrangle everybody and get in there?
Oh, so after it blows?
Yes, yeah, like just explain, yeah, how exactly you're kind of taking this step on. And what it looks like when we see a little boom.
Eleanor knows how to do grackle calls. And so she's gonna like grackle whistle. And
Love it.
weirdly it makes that sound, but she has her mouth like a whistle, but it somehow makes and so she's just gonna call everybody over to kind of like sneak in the crack and go in the cave.
Yeah, I think as this goes off, y'all watch her run in, throw it, run out, and there is a moment of that like, oh no, was it a dud? Checking her fingers, make sure everything's good. When then you do hear a rumble. It seems less like a grenade exploding and more of just like an energy, you know, like a sonic boom kind of boom, like feeling and sound. And you'll see a bright red kind of light just fill up in front of this cave crack that you are looking through. And when it settles, there is like nearly a perfect kind of circle just like blown through.
You just hear like
you hear a little bit of like, what was that? I don't know.
You just hear like
let's hurry up.
A really creepy, just like kind of like laugh from Eleanor. She's like so excited how well this worked.
Virginia's got this like wild look on his face, like, oh, okay, I'm glad you're with us. I'm real glad we signed you onto the posse.
That's what I do, Virginia. That's what I do.
Alrighty. So
Yep, glass Eleanor. Okay. Do we still need to pick load too?
Yes.
oh yes,
We do.
We should pick load.
yes. So
Now we
someone who
have
knows better explain.
we have bounty rigging, so we're gonna get 2 free load in addition to what we normally walk out here with. So,
Yeah.
whatever.
So it's 5, 7, 8 overall.
Yeah.
There's actually a setting in the character sheet where you can update that, but that's
Nice.
So I think I'm gonna go with like a normal load because that's still like seven checkboxes. Stuff I get to use. It feels pretty good.
A lot of stuff. Yeah.
But what's the penalty for heavy again? It's been a minute. If you go with a heavy load, you're like slower or something.
There's not a penalty per se, but your load determines how easy as you can move. So it might affect your position and effect and say running or I don't know, climbing through a little crevasse in a hole, for instance. It also affects like how you appear. Like if you're heavy, you're like kitted out. Like you got your guns, you know, you got your Buster sword on your back, right? Like it's very clear that you're here for business. Whereas if you're normal, you just like look like a run-of-the-mill scoundrel, you know, a gun to your hip, but not necessarily standing out. And if
So
you're
really
light,
like that guy's trouble.
yeah, exactly. So there's usually like a social and a moving kind of implication, but they don't. It's not like -1d for this kind of thing. It just affects position and effect later on.
I'm gonna go with light. So that with the +2, that'll give me 5. So
I'm going to go normal as well.
Yeah, I think Lion Sarah would be heavy. She'd have been like everything she could get her hands on, but you've literally only just gotten her out of jail. So I'm gonna go with normal because some of her possessions were reclaimed by their former owners, and so
Maybe on the way out of town, she started walking towards the mine with a normal load, and now she has a heavy load, and we have no idea. And you'll have to flash back to how you pick stuff up on the way.
There's a cast iron pot pan. You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to need that to spend for your armor checkbox later, though. That's,
Let's just go heavy. That's just funny. Just the idea that she is kind of clanky and bangy and shit. Like she's been just collecting.
She clearly didn't have that much stuff when she walked out of jail. We don't know exactly how
she was a light load in the first scene and a medium load as we walked out and a heavy load as we're going down.
Good.
Lion Sarah's like one of those like magnetic, like where it's just a magnetic ball that just like keeps rolling and just like collects as it rolls.
Yeah. Or pick up the whole world in a minute.
Yeah. I think Eleanor is also going to have normal.
Awesome.
I love that Lion Eleanor has Lion Sarah has like, what is that, 8 things? She has so many options.
Right.
Good stuff. We'll see.
All right. So
I don't know that I need any of them, but I want them.
Yeah.
You got him. Alrighty, so y'all have, well, Eleanor's weird invention has blasted a hole through. Thankfully, was not in a precarious position to cause any sort of more cave-in or anything happening for the other miners. But y'all start to kind of inch through, kind of squeeze through the crack here into the more open hole that has been made. And you see that it lets out into a mine shaft. And it seems like you can kind of see some of the light as some rocks have been kind of pulled away from this area. But you hear a lot of talking in muffled talking, it seems like, focused a different direction. And it looks like maybe there's two sort of split offs and y'all are in one, and it seems like maybe the focus is on this other one right next to it.
Mm-hmm.
As y'all come in. But from down looking further into the mine, I'll say there's still some lanterns and stuff that had already been lit as the day had started. But it is very, very low, dim light. It's still a little hazy, and you can see a few pebbles and stuff kind of break and fall here, as there are some low rumblings still happening that you can hear every once in a while that almost give that aftershock sound, but no feeling. But y'all are kind of looking, see that, or you see then just this pile of rock that maybe leads into this other section You'll want to kind of explore and find maybe a path around. You'll want to tackle.
I think
sorry, Till, I think I missed it. What's the sort of obstacle standing in our way between us and the voices that we're hearing down the way?
Either finding a new route to kind of get, find another back way maybe that these mine shafts connect, or start kind of pulling some of these rocks and making your way in a more direct direction.
I think Virginia, a pick is just shoved in your hand, like you're like, because it was you in particular. It was like, these are delicate hands. I'm not doing it. So I'm going to mark demolition tools. That's 2 load right there out of my 8. But I got picks, I got hammers, I got also, and I think I just picked these up from the miners working outside.
Just like, we might need some money back.
Yeah,
it could dynamite a nail bomb.
So I propose that I want to disable, which is I think the kind of Fist of Darkness response to wreck. Mm-hmm. That's how you disable a trap, pick a lock, or crack a safe, or break an item or obstacle with force or carefully applied sabotage. Breach defenses with force, create distractions with chaos. Yeah, I think we're breaking an object or an obstacle with force here. Okay. I'm all about digging a hole, and I'm looking at you, Virginia, like, I expect
no skill in. It's like, I'll be a lookout
on my hands. That to be said, anybody who wants to participate, I'm opening this up as a group action. I'll be the lead, which means I take grit if anyone fails. But if anybody wants to roll or disable, absolutely, I think multiple of us could join in on this. I'm not particularly good at disable, but that does not stop Lia and Sarah from trying things. She's good about it though. So
I have no points in anything in prowess, but just story-wise, Cora is trying to move some of the smaller rocks out of the way.
You can spend a grit just to give one of us plus 1d without joining. Okay. You can just
I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that.
Nice. I'll take it.
So I'll spend a grit. But yeah, Cora is moving rocks away, but is also knows that we're on this mission, but obviously wants to help what's going on over on that side, but it's trying really hard to stay focused over here.
I have 2 disable.
Nice.
So can I maybe maybe I have some of that Hellstone. Maybe I've made it into a balm type. It's in a little chapstick tin. And I reach in and put on a thick leather glove or something, and I can rub some of it, and then maybe I can smear some of this on Virginia's pickaxe. That maybe striking it will somehow make it easier.
Just so you know, Virginia is gonna spend a grit if somebody else. Because Virginia does not have disable, so you can help somebody else's axe.
Eleanor will pick up another pickaxe and give it to Sarah, and just to chain. Or should I do it? Is it better if I do it?
You do.
I think you should.
Both roll.
Unless Eleanor is if you want to be taking an active role, then it makes a lot of sense for you to roll your disable. If you just want to aid, then it makes sense to spend a grit and assist. It feels like you're equipped to just jump in here, though. I think you should have your Hellstone bombed pick and maybe and go to it. I'm happy to have Eleanor and Sarah be the ones swinging the picks here.
Sure,
perfect.
Well, what's Itchy doing? Itchy, what you doing over there?
Itchy is probably eyeing the entranceway we came through, and he sees everybody kind of lining up to dig through all this stuff. It's okay, I guess we're gonna do that, but before I got to take a look over here again before we leave. But he'll come over to help
Nice.
dig.
Okay. Perfect.
Nice. Awesome.
All right, so I'll say this is controlled because y'all are still taking advantage of this good position that y'all had, and you're coming in and already crumbling kind of section of wall that shouldn't be too hard to maybe knock away to get in where you want. What else do I need to tell you?
What's our is it standard? We'll just make it through. Is it limited? We won't be able to get all the way through with, we'll hit some obstacles.
I think it's pretty standard.
Okay.
Like I said, this is just in the mine, rock wall.
Yeah.
Already hurting. Yeah.
Just because I like to cause myself pain, I'm going to suggest that we trade position for effect. That's a thing where you say, okay, Jim, I'd like to have more effect at a worse position. Where I would like to get to the point where we have the rock wall just about ready to break through, and we kind of like wear it down as much as possible, and then burst through at the last moment so that we're going to catch whoever else on the other side by surprise. So I'd like to, that means I can have rocks falling on my head because we're getting up in close. I'd like to shift that to risky great effect so that we can jump out and can kind of seize whatever's on the other side without them being ready for us.
Okay.
Awesome. That's all good. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
So like we get just enough to where we could like maybe like have like a peephole.
Yeah.
And then we bust through.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then we just bust through Kool-Aid Man style.
But if we didn't get it right, then we got rocks on us.
Yes. All right. So then, and then that's we've got Virginia giving Eleanor an extra die, and Cora giving Sarah an extra die.
And then does not
Itchy
give
straight.
Itchy here. Is there a devil's bargain?
Let me reread what that was.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Mike.
Hey, come on.
Mike.
When do I ever get to be on this side of the screen for it, right? Like,
yeah, you're right. That's normally Casey's job.
All
and
right.
just finding out if it's there isn't the same as accepting it, right? Like,
right. So, and then I'm telling you what this devil's bargain is, right?
I think anybody
you can offer
idea
one.
can, yes.
I mean, this group normally likes to trap themselves in them. Just speaking from experience for me and David.
What you got, Mike? What's your idea?
Yeah, Mike.
I'm just here to cause problems. Come on. That's, I don't know. I think there's there's the chance that you could like have some of the rocks hit you in the process of doing it or something, but that one feels a little weak.
I'll one up that. If you do not do this well, we're going to start a troublesome clock as y'all are going to be weakening the integrity of this entire system more and more. You've already had a couple explosions, had earthquakes. If you're hitting in a wrong spot, you might start a chain reaction of bad support.
Yeah. So the way Devil's Bargain normally works is that it doesn't matter whether the roll succeeds or fails. You are taking this penalty in exchange for the benefit of which is like you're going to start a clock, like no matter what, whether we and I love that. I'm happy to have the cave-in clock started.
We're gonna start something.
Yeah. So Mike, is Itchy going to join in on this, and are you taking that Devil's Bargain? Is that your plan?
Itchy is taking part in this, and yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that Devil's Bargain.
Yeah, I mean, you suggested it as well. All right, let's all roll. We're rolling at Risky Great, and let's see what we get. We're gonna take the best result among us.
2 of you get a +1.
Yes.
Oh, itchy.
That extra die was all for nothing.
Sarah.
Doing terrible here. There we go. That's all we needed.
One mixed success out of so many dice.
All those dice. So I'm going to take 2 stress because 2 of us, myself included, rolled 3s or lower. But Eleanor, you got us the 4. You got us a mixed. Oh, sorry, 2 grit. You got us the mixed success, so we succeed, but with consequences.
Oh boy.
Huzzah.
Let's see. I know.
Does our cave-in clock start with a slice already filled in? Is that
yes, yes, very much so.
Oh
how do I?
I think if this is
show us the clocks.
I think this is like a Blades. I think you should be able
I pick which one I want. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
Yeah. So if it's
6.
Sounds good.
And we're already at 1. It's on y'all's posse page if you would like to see.
Oh, nice.
Look at that. Thank you.
See.
Why am I all of a sudden hearing the Jaws theme?
So, y'all start hitting at this with this hellstone infused pickaxes that almost kind of light up a little bit like you're striking a match every time you hit it. And you notice that when it does that, it little poofs of energy seem to break away, 4 times more rock than a normal hit would. And you hear the poof as you hit ting poof, ting poof, as more and more break away. And y'all are able to get enough of a view here that y'all were wanting before you bust in. You see that this seems to be into a little bit of a mine section that kind of opens up into a small cave area, man-made looking cave. It looks like maybe where they would station some of the carts to fill up or have some of their stuff that they didn't have to go all the way out. And this is where a lot of people you see are. Dusty, people are sitting down. A couple are like on a leg. Some rocks have obviously been like pushed off of some individuals, but everyone looks for the most like with it. You don't see anyone obviously dead. And you notice that one of the individuals is in the back section, back turned to y'all, about the height of Carl Water or Elmer Ace Emerson. And you get real excited about it. And you bust through to kind of make your grand appearance, get, we'll say kind of come a little closer to the general area you are. So you're like, this is the time. And hit through one more big hit with this hellstone infused pickaxe, which just miraculously, this was the last use of it. And we all know the last use of it is just a big bang. It's spending everything that is on this pickaxe. As the rocks kind of break apart, Lion Sarah, you're the first one in ducking through these rocks that are falling down on you. And I'll say with like Virginia and Cora, with y'all being less excited about helping, you notice.
Oh no, Virginia's excited about being in this room immediately.
Oh, that's true. You're in. Let's say Cora, you're sitting back not as excited to break rock.
Because Virginia's okay with taking glory for people's work.
Nice. Well, and I took 2 stress from this, or 2 grit rather, and I think what it came from is that we were hammering. Itchy and I are hammering with our pickaxes, and just nothing was happening. And we were just watching Eleanor just like cleave through with her Hellfire one. And it was like that whole like, well, I guess you gotta like do what you gotta do. Like, I'm not really for Hellfire, but look how effective it is. So I think I'm kind of freaked out by it. Virginia, it's fine if you run in front after we've got the whole.
I had the diamond pickaxe, and y'all were stuck with stone. I'm sorry.
There it is. But Cora, you noticed that this fissure, like from where that last impact was, and everything kind of broke apart as everyone jumps through. A fissure kind of go down the wall of the cave with a little bit of a red glint in it. It almost looks like, when there's like a trail of gas and you light it and there's just like that ball of light within like a little bit of a tail behind it as it disappears. It seems like it's doing that, and where that ball of energy is like pinging down and follows until you can't see it anymore. A crack left and a little bit of a rumble. You all jump in. Virginia?
Yeah.
You're about taking this glory.
Yeah, I'm jumping.
Everyone's a little concerned looking at you. This one person's still starting to kind of turn around.
So I want to make sure that it is who I think it is, right? Okay. So can I like Virginia's gonna walk in, and he's in his, like I said, he's in his nice button-down shirt, right? He's dressed to impress, and he flips up both his irons and starts doing gun tricks while he walks into the room, trying to catch everybody's attention, and just real quick, just survey the crowd and make sure I make my target. right? And I'm just gonna use the guns to just like get everybody to focus on what I'm doing. So while they're watching my hands, I'm gonna be checking for my target.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, Virginia has a thing to say, but I want to see how it goes first before I say that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be using my stunning performance to perform a flashy show with my weapons that leaves my audience stunned and speechless to give me a +1 effect to act in this on the impressed folks.
Okay.
While I'm rolling, hopefully rolling survey, find my ID my target.
Yeah. I think in general, I'm still going to call it controlled. You had quite the entrance. That was some surprise. They have nowhere to really go. Like, I don't think there's a huge risk of like screwing up too bad, you know? Like, as you're kind of looking, but you're trying to really eye these people down.
I would be okay with risky because like these are
Risky?
trapped people, and I'm showing up with like irons and a hole behind me.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like
that's
I'm
true.
okay. I'm
Yeah.
okay with like if this doesn't go well, like there's a rush for this new possible exit or whatever. Like
Yeah,
I'm okay with
yeah.
going risky on this.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That makes sense. They are now seeing, like, they've heard they're being rescued, but now this is happening and it is not what they were expecting.
Yeah, we are not the rescuers they were hoping for.
No.
Yeah. They're like,
No,
oh,
obviously not.
no. I can see them being now very. Are we getting robbed after nearly dying? What's happening?
Anything
In
wrong?
the mine?
Yeah.
Well, they may be getting robbed. You might, Taylor. That might be happening.
That
It
might
may
actually
still
still
happen.
happen here
You're
in this
right.
game.
Yeah.
We don't know yet until narratively convenient. They're not getting.
Oh, here's what I wanted.
Can I assist you in doing this, Virginia?
For sure, that'd be amazing.
Okay, because I think there's kind of like behind you, and I'll spend the grit to help, and I'll check the gear list here. Itchy, like kind of like the pickaxe drops, kind of like takes the head off, kind of like fans himself, and he like holds up the lantern that we were using to light our way as we were breaking into this room.
Now we get to see people's faces looking for.
So
Okay,
Nice.
let's see. And then I do effect levels.
And I will get
I
a +1 based on the using my cool special ability. I think that's what I. +1 to the effect.
awesome.
Yep. So whatever you're
Um,
thinking, +1 level.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this at great because I feel like you really have much more to gain than really kind of lose in this situation, depending. Yeah.
And then I get 1 bonus die because I've got some help, right? My lantern wielding friend helping me spot smut covered scar tissue. Wow! Yes! That's
Ooh,
6.
damn.
You needed that extra die.
I did need that extra die.
You didn't.
There's a lantern that did it, Itchy.
Yeah. Clutch lantern
Don't
move.
let Virginia steal your credit. Your thunder.
that success counts for me.
Yeah.
That goes
So-
on my count.
You walk in, start kind of eyeing everybody down, doing your tricks. A few people definitely are cowering back a little bit of what the heck is even happening anymore. Well, some are still injured and sitting there, but everyone has their eye on you. And I think one of the guys that maybe kind of looks like maybe the foreman of the operation kind of like walks up in front and is just like, you here with the rescue team? As that one that you were real sure was Carl turns around. It's like a Hispanic looking guy with no birthmarks, no change, very not
Not our mark.
description.
Yeah, and I'm super sure that our mark is not in this room. Right? Is what I'm getting out of this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to angle. Speaking of beating up GMs, I want to angle for a little bit more. Since you got great effect, is there? I imagine Virginia would take in the whole survey, the whole of this. Is there signs of passage of somebody who went down? Like you can see some crumbled rock from somebody who went further down a passage one way or another, or signs where Carl might be that Virginia could pick up.
Yeah. So our Faco Carl is a bit of a leftover from your Devil's Bargain miss success, busting in a wall. But I think you would notice that there seems to be another passage in the kind of the back of this room that looks to go further down, that has a train car kind of track, or a minecart track that goes down it. Immediately doesn't look super caved in or anything, but I think one of the miners will pretty quickly be like, are you here to help? We're missing Carl. He went further down. He was the first one in, and we haven't seen him. And
Calm down, folks. Calm down, folks. This here's the Good Whiskey Posse. We're here looking for a very specific person. Now, none of you, fortunately, are who we are looking for. That's good for you. That means that as soon as my compatriots make it through this passageway, you've got a clear shot out of here. Now, it's a bit of crawling, but you can all, as I'm like waving, as you all make your way out, this is a good, safe path for you to go. Now, I am looking for one Mr. Waters. Not in any trouble. You need to find him. Will one of you point me in his direction?
He's in trouble. He's stuck down there.
All right, well, we're going to go rescue him. Why don't you all rescue yourselves right now? It's like...
Okay. I don't know why this was necessary.
Is there one that's more...
I'm like doing air quotes with my guns.
There's a double little bunny foo-foos. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's gonna go.
Is there one that is injured or more injured than the others?
It looks like every single one of them has some sort of injury, from scratches, concussions, broken legs. Like they were in it.
I'll do a quick check triage, and then pick whoever is the worst off.
Yeah.
And I want to fix them up, but also get more information on what happened, and why Carl isn't with them. And so I can roll for that. I have read or survey, or consort or sway, depending on what you want. But I would also use my find doctor's bag and apron to help with that effect.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe not sway. What were the other two that you said?
Yeah, the player picks the action, so it's whatever you feel like.
You're thinking
about consorting with them, then that's what you roll.
Yeah, I don't know if sway would necessarily. I think it's more you're going to be talking to him while he's in pain.
Give me up, Mr. Waters.
Yeah. So,
it's
someone in pain that we'll say it's a guy who's whole bottom half of his leg was crushed by a rock. It looks like, so you're just trying to get him a stint or a splint to walk out of here easier.
Yeah. I totally give him a splint. I totally give him opium. Probably some laudanum to go with it. Just make it easier. But before I administer those things, I do want to talk to him. What's my position?
I would say, controlled.
Okay.
You're just patching him up. You're the good doctor. We'll say this is Jebediah Smith. He lives next door. Knows you.
All right. Am I at standard effect or my great effect using my apron or my doctor's bag?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I feel like you give somebody enough laudanum and opium, and you're very good.
Yeah, we're totally good friends. This is
why they pass out. That's the risk, right?
This is why everybody loves Cora.
Oh, look at that 6.
Nice.
Good job.
So yeah, I'm asking before I drug this guy up, asking about what happened, why Carl isn't here, just kind of get those things before we race off down this mine shaft.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. He's like, oh God, what's another version of Southern. Oh, I can do my screw voice. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
so
screw.
I haven't had this one yet. It's the miner's lung. he's older. You know, it was a normal morning. We were all getting ready, and then usually we'll get all of our equipment, put them in the carts, and do whatever while having morning coffee. But one of the carts was missing, and when we needed it, and Carl was the last one out of the mine yesterday, so it was his fault. He didn't bring it back up, and so we had to go run down and get it. But then the whole world started shaking, and everything was groaning and creaking and cracking, and it didn't sound like, I don't know, it sounded like the whole damn earth opened up or something, and it was just so loud. It unearthly, whatever that yell was.
What did you?
Yeah. So okay. So she'll medicate this man, and then kind of point out to like two people, like William and Bill. Why don't you?
I'm Bill.
help
he's William.
him.
Yeah.
This
Right,
man
you
doesn't know
help-
what he wants. One, he's crushed leg. Two, lots of drugs.
Yeah. So can you help get him out? Get everybody out to safety.
Yes,
the
Miss Cora.
Sheriff's around front. So fine.
Yeah,
find
you hear
someone.
now, like, the sheriff's voice has been, like, getting closer and closer. He's like, don't you worry, guys. We're going to get you. It's going to be fine. And then he moves a rock, and you just see his face silhouetted. Like, oh. Good job.
This is an awkward moment. He's walking away from it. He still has more rocks to move.
Yeah.
We have no
Not like we
business
wanted them to
with Sam.
follow us. We want the bounty.
Yeah, we have no business with Sam.
There's also that question, like, if they did follow us, where we blew that hole, did we leave like any like weird residue that they're gonna be like, what did they use here that they shouldn't have been?
Do you need to know about
Hey,
residue
dynamite.
or none of that stuff?
Dynamite is used constantly in these parts.
Yeah, and I think
it's prone to
was-
leaving perfectly circular shafts.
It's perfectly
Like,
circular.
yeah.
That's what's probably the weird thing. You know, Eleanor's good. She's got it real refined, but also red rocks, red residue. It's kind of blend in a little bit, you know?
Mhm.
Who knows?
It was a really good roll.
All the better reason for us to work quickly before they get through.
Yes. Question with clocks. Is it only things that y'all do that impact it, or do we have outside influence?
Yeah,
Because
anything
now-
narratively would likely cause it.
Mhm.
Because I think now that they've kind of gotten through this cave-in and then are moving, there's a little bit of a shaking, and more rocks are kind of starting to fall down in this little
Mhm.
section. And the sheriff's like, "Oh, all right, come on, let's go!" And everyone starts to kind of rush as
Can one of us
entrance
resist?
of this.
Yeah, now one of us could make a resistance roll to be like, oh no, wait, we're gonna get a support and like we're gonna grab a mine shaft and try and
It's
support
like
it so it doesn't happen.
the mouth of this is what is now starting to kind of crumble with y'all's the fissure.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
You
Hey,
wanna
I
do it?
paid for the extra. I paid for the extra grit box, and I'm trying to stress out. So
There we go.
All right, yeah. It
Like,
sounds
I'm
like physical. It sounds like it's a physical kind of thing. So it'd be whatever the replacement for prowess is. Is that? Let's see. I know everything's been renamed, but I think it's prowess on a
Yeah, we still have prowess. Yeah,
just, oh yeah, prowess is like the group,
insight
not
and
the action.
sling prowess roll.
Or if you had like, or I don't know if you have like command, maybe you like yell at some of these miners to like real quick before they leave, do their jobs one last time, and put up some new support stresses.
Hey, we know that you were just in a horrifying
Yeah.
thing,
Can I
but could
get
you
to
hang
work
out for
one
just a
more
second
minute?
here in the
Yeah.
traumatic area you've been in, where you thought you were going to die? But could you put up another support, please?
Well, and is this? Do I make the roll to do the resist as well, or is it just?
yeah, you're
Resistance
gonna
roll.
roll your you roll if you click. What are you resisting with?
So-
you resisting prowess or guts? Sounds like there's.
I think it's prowess is probably the one that's like more, trying to shove something into place. I was getting tangled up on like, am I just making the prowess roll, or was I also trying to do like the craft roll to put something into place? But I think it's just the prowess. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you just click on prowess, and you're going to resist that tick going up by saying you're sliding something into place before it collapses.
Cool.
Can we assist?
Oh,
just kidding.
I already clicked the dice, but
Oh
no!
Oh no!
Well, it's okay. You always succeed. You can never fail on a resistance roll. You just take 3
yeah,
grit.
I get something out. I just took the 3 grit. Okay, cool.
You did. You wanted to trauma out. So there you go.
Here we go.
Get
So
involved.
yeah, you yell at some of these guys. Some of them are more fit, and they're looking to you for kind of that leadership too, of like, oh god, not again.
There's probably like me trying to get them to help, and Itchy putting a lot of the force into doing it too.
Yeah, they
And,
kind of
like,
like watch.
the post kind of like goes into place, but like it's like just splinters everywhere. Like
Ooh,
and
yeah,
it's real uncomfortable.
Yeah, so you kind of grab that, and a couple more rocks kind of tumble down. You're like, but it seems like at least this little section of the mouth has kind of held itself. For now.
Congrats, you've held up 1 rock.
One rock that would have blocked.
We have stopped the clock once. This is good.
Alrighty, so y'all are going down this back tunnel.
Taylor, can I ask if we can take
Yes.
before we go
Actually.
deeper into this? Oh, okay, yeah.
One more action, because then I have a good cliffhanger.
Oh, good.
So
Oh, nice.
y'all start to go down. Actually, we can even make it easier because the ground has been shaken, and with this last little tremble, it looks like some bits that had caved in have kind of rolled a little bit, and you have more of a tight squeeze. You may want to move some stuff for your heavily kitted friend here, but you're able to kind of push through this little section of rock and go back into a pretty steep decline in this mine. And as you get down to the bottom of it, who's in front? Just for funsies. Virginia, maybe, or would it be?
Yeah, if we didn't change much in the last
Sarah?
scene, it would be Virginia.
Okay. You stop, like dead on your heels, and have to push everybody back as you notice the ground is gone. It is a giant fissure in the ground, and then if you look up as well, and it's about 10 feet across, it looks like, before there's another like section to the tunnel. And it's, I mean, as far as you can see up and down, because it's real dark, it's real hazy, but you do notice that about what would be like 3 stories down, like a good bit, there is a section of what maybe was another tunnel that is exposed. And you look down and you see a person down there sitting, and it looks like they're sitting, they kind of have their legs out and just kind of straight, kind of slumped a little bit, but sitting freely of their own, like not up against anything. And there is like a real hazy kind of orangey red glow from like the lantern that sits next to them. But that may be your person. That is where we can take a break.
Good.
Of this person 3 stories down.
Yeah.
This is not
It's a good thing I brought some rope.
Yeah, I'm checking the sheet for rope and
I'm checking the rope box.
good.
Yeah, all the load.
That's good. All right, folks, we are going to take 10-minute break. Is that okay? Is that down for everybody? All right. We're going to take a 10-minute break, folks. We'll be back 10 past the hour, whatever your time zone is. And we will see you all very break. Cameras are lining up. Hey, everybody, whenever they come. I don't know why the cameras take a extra second tonight. But hey, we're back. We're back from break. Literal cliffhanger. Thank you, Taylor.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Very good. Very good.
That was about the only thing I've actually written all night was to give you a cliffhanger break. So now what do we do?
Oh, hey, chat. Thanks for hanging out. So good stuff. That's fun. All right, yeah. So yeah, Virginia's like holding us back, right? We're on the cliff.
Mm-hmm. Y'all say you've got, how this has opened up, the actual cave itself or the mine shaft is, I don't know. I've never been in a mine shaft. I'm gonna say like 6 feet across here. It's early up. We're going with that. And you've got probably just like a little bit of like a foot, like a human foot ledge on this like crack. And then this section down, like I said, is like 3 stories down. I mean, it's like rock facing. It's not a smooth thing, but it looks like if this person was up here retrieving a cart and fell that far, they should not be alive. I have cilantro in my teeth from a burrito bowl.
So, sorry, Carl, or this person is down there with like a cart. Is the cart still on like a track? Or is the cart like shattered? Like, what's the situation?
I don't think you even see the cart.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The rails that you have been following kind of go off, maybe 2 feet or so, and then look to be kind of broken, and bits of it have kind of fallen down into this just giant chasm.
Does it look like this was sort of like a recent thing? Like during this earthquake, a big sinkhole happened and the whole thing collapsed? Like, do we see like the other end of the rail across the way?
Yeah, you see the other end of the rail about 10 feet or so. So this looks like this was a crack, a sinkhole, something with this.
Yeah, Lion Sarah is like, doesn't know what the master plan is, but I just checked rope off my box and she's like, you know how like you said the rail is going over? She's using that like lip of the bit of the rail that's going over. She's tying some rope off because she's like, we're either going up, going down, or he's coming up or something like that. So she's just starting to, get this ready and get a rope ready for us to go down there.
Thinking.
So, sorry, just so I can picture it in my head, we're over here, the big hole, they're over here, but it's like,
they're essentially like 10 feet
3
down.
stories down.
3 stories,
exactly down.
30 feet down.
Oh.
None of this is quiet. So Cora's going to look over the kind of edge here and go, "Hey, Carl."
No movement.
You fell down
Carl,
there.
we're going to come down and get you.
Virginia, you did say this bounty was dead or alive, right? They're not particular about how we bring back Carl, right?
I don't think they're too particular, no.
I mean, I don't want to kill him per se, but if the Earth did it, we can't be faulted for that.
But we do need to get Carl out of here. So, guess we're going down.
You say that, and there's like a shake on the ground. You all have to like hold for a second.
Is there a 3 stories down? Is there solid ground? Like if we went straight down, would we land on solid ground level with this person, or is there more chasm further down?
There's more chasm further, but it seems like this is kind of a ledge that is also out. So, it's not a sheer perfect straight down. There are what looks to be, shelves from the rock itself that some has fallen. This one is still kind of attached and looks like it goes to another cavern that maybe was lower down anyway. But it does continue. It looks past that from what you can tell from his lantern light.
If we go down this rope that I've just tied, can we make it to this ledge, or is it just like the ledge is over on the other side? Or something
no, you can make it to the ledge.
Okay,
yeah,
right,
it is. Yeah. It's just kind of directly below. So it's almost like a stop so you don't fall the rest of the way down. You got a good 5 feet and then more chasm.
I think Sarah's heard everybody say, okay, we got to do this. And she's like, well, no way to get down but start climbing. So I'm going to start with my big old pots and pans hanging off and all kinds of clanking. I'm going to start climbing down there. I'm happy once again to lead. If everybody wants to come down with, let me ask. Taylor, is it trivial to get down there? Can I just make it down, or do you feel like this is an action roll to make it? Is there some risk falling in this chasm, etc.?
I don't think there's a ton of risk of falling in the chasm. I mean,
Okay.
you could hurt yourself. You're going to hit ground before you hit infinity. But I'm not. I would
It's
say
only
just,
3 stories before you hit ground, so there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's 3 stories. We're on to like a rickety kind of. I'm going to say there's still some danger to it.
Okay. All right. Then
It's
let's
not imminent death, possibly.
Excellent. All right. Well, then I would like to prowl, because prowl is the action for traversing obstacles, climb, run, swim, jump, tumble, etc. So feels like it's the right action to get down there. And if everyone else wants to join me, we can do a big group action, or folks can stay up top, etc.
Virginia.
Okay.
I think Itchy will try to climb down too.
Excellent. Who else wants to come down with us?
I would love to come down if someone would assist me in coming down, because I don't have anything in prop.
It's okay. Just roll prowl, and you take the best result out of everybody. You might cause Lion Sarah some stress, but it's all good. How about
So yeah,
Eleanor?
I would like to go down too. So
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll also go down. I'm in the same boat of possibly causing some stress, but that's okay.
Oh heck, I'm ready for it. I'm trying to beat Mike here at gathering stress. That's why I'm leading all this group action. Taylor, what's the position and effect to climb down there?
I'm going to put it. I'm like bouncing between desperate and risky. I think I'm going to leave it with risky, seeing as I feel like desperate is you fall into the chasm. Like that's the next level of danger. This is you're falling 3 stories or having some sort of issue. So I'm going to keep it at risky.
Sounds good.
And not bump it to the next level.
So everybody knows, desperate actions get you an extra XP.
Right.
It's true.
This is a one shot. We don't want XP.
I know, but for future,
For yourself.
Future
I was an XP goblin. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Is it standard effect? If you succeed, we'll make it down.
Yes.
Okay.
Standard.
Cool. All right. I'm happy with risky standard. I feel like that's the right place for this. And because it's an action that we're all doing, we can't assist each other, right? Like if someone wanted to stay up top and just help, that they could, but otherwise we've all got to do this. So everybody roll your prowl. You could spend 2 grit to
push myself for an extra die.
Oh, there's a 6.
But it's a 3 because it's
Take the lowest.
Oh, yeah.
There's your 6.
There's a 6.
Can you push yourself if you don't have anything in it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just take 2 stress.
Okay, I'm gonna do that as well.
Okay.
Then you get 1 die instead of 0.
Lion Sarah.
Hey!
We got a couple of 6s in there.
We got a couple of 6s.
All right, so I think I'm taking 2 stress, one of them from myself, or 2 grit. But we got a 6, so I think thanks to Itchy and Cora, we make it down without trouble.
Yeah, y'all.
Is it like a couple of us are like slipping and like Cora grabs one and Itchy grabs the other? Like
I think so.
Like we're the reason why we didn't fail is that they were especially well on those.
Yeah, who grabs?
They were all going down.
Who grabs Lion Sarah by the boot before she goes toppling over that ledge?
Oh, Cora for sure.
Nice.
Cora is always saving people. You have to like scramble to get purchase on something real quick though, because she's not able to hold you for very long.
Pauses just long enough
from
I feel like there's this moment where I'm hanging upside down and Cora's got my boot and I took 2 stress in this. This feels like 2 grit. This feels like a stressful thing.
Grab the rope. Grab the rope. Grab the rope.
What would I do without you? How's practice? How's getting ourselves warmed up?
Hey.
Virginia, why don't you go spin your guns around somebody?
No need for that now. What we need is to get across this thing.
So you where you have landed is just about 6 feet away from him. You're on the same ledge. And during all of this person has not moved a single inch and is sitting in the middle of this platform, straight up, staring forward. Y'all follow his gaze and now see that reddish orange glow wasn't from his lantern. This whole side of the chasm is solid hellstone. And you can see little like sparks and like energy kind of going through this like reddish crystal, like it almost, your light definitely adds to the red and the flashing of it. It almost kind of looks like onyx of that really shade, like smooth black, but then you can see this energy kind of coursing through it. And it's this whole section of this like ravine has been broken, and you can now from this point look where before you didn't get quite a good view because of how the chasm was shaped, that as far down as you can see is just solid hellstone along the side of this like cavern.
Is it like where we are, like the wall behind us would also
Yeah, like
have
you
it?
could walk up and touch it. It's like right there in front of you.
Eleanor has forgotten everything that we're doing. She's turned around to the hellstone and has taken out like some collecting tools and is trying to get as much as she can in different like forms of sample, like probably shaving some off, probably like getting like chunks of it.
Almost feels like you're indulging your vice right now.
I actually.
We only do that during downtime, but it feels an awful lot
But
like
basically,
indulging your vice.
But if you experience trouble because of your vice, you get XP,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like,
Yeah, there you
still
go.
get XP
And
for
I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Eleanor has been down mining hellstone ever before. Do you know how to collect this in a safe way?
Oh fuck no. No.
'Cause it is
She's
very volatile.
She's just, this is her thing. It literally says on my playbook, I am a Hellstone otaku, which if you know what that is, that just means like obsession. So like, this is my stuff right here. So yeah, she's just trying to get like any kind of like little bit, probably not aiming to make trouble, but is going to.
If you're gonna mess with it, there's gonna need to be something
Who owns
that you
this
need
mine?
to do correctly. This is the town mine. This is Hollow Mine. We'll say some just like guy that used to live here had a shit ton of money, kind of started it, and then when he finally had enough shit ton of money to leave, he got the hell out of Dodge. But it's normally just like kind of like coal mine. Like this is not what you were expecting.
Can I check on Carl while other people are doing dangerous stuff? I'd like to talk or go towards the dangerous person that's not moving.
Yes. Okay. Well, you do that. Eleanor, I don't know if this is how I can pose this could be dangerous, but this is how I'm going to do it, and I'll tell you if I'm wrong. You see this. You have your like little tools. You know what Hellstone is. You just usually have very refined bits that you buy from places that make it safe to use. This is raw, untouched.
Perfect for
You
study.
choose what you would like to do to access this. But the consequence is half of that clock could get ticked.
Yes. Like desperate.
Desperate, very very desperate, very volatile.
I'll say probably like whenever I was thinking about it, the first thing she would do is she probably has like a kind of like a razor blade edge, and is probably just has like a little container, like a little tin, and is probably just trying to like shave some off. I'm gonna guess it's like soft enough that I'm able to do that with like a razor blade.
Yeah, I would put it more in line of like flint, you know, where it can kind of like go off in sheets.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
crack little bits off.
Yeah.
So that's probably what she was going with first. If that makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't like pull an axe out of her dress in the back and go. It was probably.
She could. What action are you taking, Eleanor? How do you want to handle this?
Great.
Is this crap? Is this like disable? You're slowly picking it apart.
Ooh.
You're
Are you
breaking
consorting
stuff
with it?
with flies, sabotage?
Just
Or
come
is it-
on,
or is
just don't do what?
Just sway it into coming up on its own.
What
Yeah.
about a tune? Is a tune a role here? 'Cause, like,
You
it's-
laughed, but I would have tried it, Mike.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
would
you can buy
like
your way up from zero effect.
I would like to use disable if I can. I'm trying
It feels
to-
like the absolute right thing here. You're trying to break this thing apart and get pieces
Yeah.
of it.
yeah.
This,
So I'll
this Sears Tower sized thing of Hellstone.
Yeah. I mean, she's not trying to take the whole thing. She's just trying to get a little bit.
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I need some samples. I need some samples of it.
I'd love to assist you if that's something you're amenable to.
Sure.
So Fly and Sally did have a reputation of being the only one to go to this mine and come back out alive. Maybe that reputation was deserved. Who knows? As you start to flake it, I think we kind of flash back to a moment where she saw somebody scrape the Hellstone and it sparked, and there was a big old we just flashed back to her seeing somebody like scrape it, and then a big old spark happened and a big old explosion happened, and she's like, wait. And she pulls out a canteen. Is there a canteen? Can I have a canteen? I'm sure I can have a canteen.
Yeah.
She pulls out a canteen and she starts pouring it over the rock.
A
So as you're
useful item.
scraping it,
all the way to
no
the bottom.
spark can form, right? Like you can't accidentally cause a spark because there's water pouring down over it.
Ooh, I like it.
So not that this couldn't go horribly wrong, but still, but that's how that'll prevent it from sparking. So I'm spending a stress or spending a grit and giving you +1D on this.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Eleanor will be like, "Oh, that's smart. Thanks, dearie," and just kind of like then go at it. Disable. So what is the position for it? Risky?
Very desperate.
Oh, desperate. I see.
Still desperate.
Okay.
Still desperate. That's nice, but it's still
Yeah.
desperate.
+1 die, but doesn't take away the desperate. Yeah.
And
All right,
what
guys,
did you say? For
are we
the
gonna?
effect?
Is this whole show gonna be over in this role? Let's see.
No, not the whole thing.
What was the effect?
Great.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay,
High
and then
risk,
Devil's
high
bargain. Devil's bargain.
reward.
And then one more. Wait. Okay. No.
Devil's bargain gets you extra dice.
What is that?
You have to find out what it is and decide if you're going to take it.
Okay.
Yep.
Where it's,
Oh,
you'll get the extra die, but there's like a consequence regardless of if you succeed or fail.
Yeah. Some trade-off you're making.
Hey, but you know what?
I'm
At
gonna
least you'll get
steal-
an XP because this is desperate.
Mhm.
Regardless.
I'm gonna steal from this list that is in here currently. And you may not know you know the social risks of Hellstone.
Mhm.
The Devil's Bargain is you will offend or anger some sort of faction.
Say that one time again.
Offend or anger a faction with this,
Oh.
because it's the whole social impact of this Hellstone here now. Something bad. Someone cannot be happy.
There's no way that this stays a secret. Not with the four of us.
Yeah. And
You're hanging out out here
half
in
the whole
Lord's
fucking
Promise,
town.
chipping away at Hellstone.
Yeah, half the town at the mouth of this mine currently.
Can
Is that
for story's sake, I don't know if this is needed, but for story's sake, can I flash back just to go with what I'm thinking?
Mhm.
So maybe Eleanor's kind of having a moment before she does it, and she's gonna think about the family that she's lost, mysteriously her father-in-law, her husband, and her son that all died at the same time. What
All
caused
jumped
her?
from some random waterfall.
Yes, they all at the same time jumped We don't know how, we don't know why. And she knows nothing about it. And that's like what started her kind of like research with this hellstone. And she's been at it for like 20 years of just like researching and trying to get to like, what is it about this thing with like the monsters involved, and like could it have been about that? But she's moved very much past it being about her husband and more with just a extreme obsession and fascination of this like hellstone. So I think the social implications are out the window. So yeah, she'll totally take that devil's bargain.
Does it just so we know within the narrative how this would work? Is it look something like Eleanor being like, "Everybody stand back! I'm going for the hellstone." So like people up top are clearing out of the way, but like clearly they've heard this. Is that? I'm just trying to figure out like how they would know and all that. Is that reasonable?
I think also us, like just like
Just
just
about the
us
reasoning.
getting out of here. Somebody's gonna say something, right? Like no secret
that makes
stays in this whole.
Yeah. I mean, I would think even at this point too, you're probably hearing voices of people coming this direction. Like they know Carl's still
Somebody
gone.
sees
Y'all are
somebody.
here. Yeah, like there's people coming that are about to be seeing what you're seeing.
And if it like makes sense, like I don't think like maybe she is just getting small samples, but maybe she's not being real careful. So she's like come up at her, she's like wearing like a long sleeve dress. Her dress has like redstone like all on it. So she's like visibly like kind of covered in this stuff.
Just like,
Oh,
Ah.
that's perfect. You get it on you. Up on your black dress now covered in
It's very
red.
like Macbeth. You can't
Yes.
wash it off, no matter how much
Yeah.
you try. You can't
There-
wash it
oh,
off.
that's beautiful.
I love that I picked red for the backlight too. That's great.
Very good.
Okay, so now I get 2 bonus die, right? Or like the first one for the helping, and then this one.
Yep.
Okay.
You got it.
Oh, I got one. Oh, I got 2 sixes.
That's a crit.
That's a crit. That is a critical. Oh boy. Oh boy. You do it with increase.
But everybody in town still knows about it.
But everybody knows
Everybody knows
Yeah.
about
because
it.
of the epic haul that you got out of this one.
I think it's a lot of that epic haul. You kind of focus in on this section that has been waterproofed, and you hit it with, one of your little tools that is very, maybe there's a certain type of metal, like randomly, like aluminum is really good against hellstone. Something that you wouldn't think of that like cracks it really well, and you know it. And you hit it thinking like you're gonna get just like little chunks in your thing, and like a full like 3 foot by 2 foot slab like slides off. You see there are like the sparks of the energy and that same little like poof of like sound energy as when you hit with your pickaxe. As you now have this very thin, you can still definitely break it and like kind of work with it to make it better. But this whole thing has broken off a bit. And just for some added fun, as this happens, Carl, that y'all have now looked at and have ID'd as Carl, sitting catatonic, essentially staring, breathing, starts to laugh. Just like low that then like grows into a louder laugh, but his face is still dead serious and like zoned as this laugh comes out. And Eleanor, you have this like flash of imagery in your head. You see the cave or the mine workers coming in, the red flash of light. You can hear that noise that everyone was talking about just being so loud. It sounded like something screaming. It sounds like a deep, like masculine growl of like, not even like anger or like agony, of like excitement, of like a relief, of like a fuck yeah kind of yell. Guttural. It like brings chills to you. And as you kind of start to come back, you see a red Like all this is kind of that redstone color. You see this like redstone kind of plain with a few little jagged rocks sticking out middle of nowhere. And standing on top, you see 3 horses with 3 riders as a 4th one comes up and joins them on the blades. And then you shake out of it and you're back.
So that she like pictured, that was a vision, and she pictured that. Ooh, okay. Oh, what would she do with that information?
What's the?
Yeah, I think I don't know if I have enough time for maybe she like. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what she would do. I think maybe she's like stunned a bit, and then possibly let me say that just like an item that she has, like a useful item, she has a journal like with her, and then kind of I guess she'll like take out her journal and then just really crudely like draw that final image of like the horses like standing on the blades. And so, because I don't think she really like would know how to verbalize it out of just like shock. So kind of we'll just like draw that to get it out of her head, kind of like lay it down, and then probably go back to the Hellstone and just start breaking it up and putting it like in her bag.
We'll add to like one little detail as you've been drawing it out. You know, so you remember how I said there's a new jut out of rocks, of blades. As you're drawing it, you realize that's the 4th blade of rocks that have jutted out in this formation.
Maybe she kind of like as she's drawing it and has that realization, she kind of like taps on that 4th blade, and the residue from the Hellstone is like red on her fingers, and it leaves like a red like print on that like final.
Nice. It's all charcoal except for that one bit.
Yeah.
This red
Just kind of like that, and then just kind of like sets it down to where all of y'all can see, and then goes to like just like chopping it up and like little like since it's so soft, like just chopping it up and then like packing it into her satchel and stuff.
While that was happening, Cora, you've been looking over Carl as he's now laughing. You know, just think like the most serious dead eyes and then a smile. It's horrifying. And the laughing does kind of subside about the time that Eleanor slaps her journal down with her picture, and he's back to being silent. You're looking over him, and it's weird, like it doesn't make sense why he would have been down this far in the mine if he was going for the mine cart that ends up there where y'all were. But he does not have any injuries that would show he was here when a giant crack happened and he fell 3 stories down. Other than just like shock, whatever is happening that has him just, he's dusty. He's got scratches. Like he's not perfect. Like he was definitely here when it happened. But other than like, you know, he's not following, his eyes aren't dilating, doesn't look like concussions. He's just like.
I think Cora, that freaked her out like real bad. And she's just kind of looking around. She's like, "What did you do, Carl?" Not necessarily expecting an answer, but she's trying to make sense of just how he got here uninjured, really. Like that is like a really hard leap for her to take logically. So she's kind of just trying to figure that out, I guess. And why he just started a creepy laugh. That was weird. She's not too happy about that. It's not great.
I think as you're looking, after you've asked that and you're looking them over, you know, it's been a few minutes. You also hear people now like, everybody good. Oh God, it's Carl. As people are now kind of seeing at least the edge, you know, they can't see fully back in there because of how this is to all the chaos quite yet. And you hear him yell like, get more ropes, whatever. It seems like you've got some backup going. And Carl's just sitting there. And after a bit, after you're kind of done looking him over, he just slowly kind of turns his head and looks up at you, Cora. She's like, "Oh, are you here to rescue me?"
Yeah. Yes. Do you
Okay.
remember who I
He
am?
stands up and then just stands perfectly straight and really still and just kind of looks chill. "I'm Carl. I was getting a minecart when the earthquake and I fell."
Can
That's
I
believable.
tell what is going on here? Because that doesn't seem natural at all. Can I like do a survey or like a read on
Yeah.
him?
Pick what you would like to do.
Can I help with this?
Mhm.
I think Virginia's been over there.
I want to know. I think she's thinking of this logically or trying to. That he must have hit his head. And if he didn't hit his head, like opening her mind up to allowing it to be some crazy thing that happens around Hellstone now.
Mhm.
And trying to figure out like if he was possessed or, you know, are we talking about demons? Like she's just really trying to like figure out what is going on with him. Yeah. Would that read, I guess?
Sure. I mean, I think it's pretty just basic, like controlled
Standard.
Mm-hmm. Like we're just kind of reading them.
+1.
Thank you. Gracias. Oh, that hurt. I had 3.
Fail.
Well,
Total fail.
3 uncontrolled is interesting because controlled is the one position where it doesn't mean everything goes to pot. It means you flinch or withdraw. You realize there's something wrong. You can abandon it, or you can try again. You can try a different method, or you can proceed and try the same roll again, but it's risky that time. So you kind of have an option. It's not like you went, "Oh, I screwed it up." It's like, "Oh, that's not the right take." It's more complicated than I thought. So
Can I push?
Okay.
Okay. Would that be okay? Can I push in on it, Tay, and try it again?
Yeah, I think as you're looking at him and trying to kind of deduce what's going on, he's just looking at you, but not looking at you, looking your direction. It looks like he's almost like distant, far past you. It's just like, "You're here to save me. Why aren't we leaving?"
So risky standard.
Mm-hmm.
I think Virginia's gonna help again. Virginia's kind of reading this person is like.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
like,
real weird.
That's where Virginia.
There we go. Got it.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Nice.
All right.
Pressing on.
Oh yeah, no, this is too weird for Cora just to back off of it.
He has every single symptom of someone in extreme shock.
Okay.
But you notice as you're looking at him, he's staring. There seems to be almost like glints of like dull ember color in his eyes.
Like he's taken Hellstone to the brain.
It mirrors the colors.
It's that hailstone
Hailstone.
sickness.
Yeah.
Hailstone hysteria.
Ooh.
Alliteration makes everything better.
Bruh.
Has there ever been talk of anything like someone being poisoned by Hellstone, or like what the effects of? I mean, you said it's been mined for about like what 50 years. So
Yeah.
What is coal miner's lung of Hellstone?
Yeah, I don't think there is like much in the way of this that you've heard of. There are definitely like mutations that people can go through that end up in like, you know, a miner's lung kind of thing, but in a human, it's just kind of going to kill them. But then, you know, there's like mutations of like 3-headed coyotes. You're like, that's not normal. And then now there are things like actual demons. What are they? Who knows? There are ghosts that are popping. There are revenants, which are ghosts in people bodies. There are, you know, flying raptor dragon monsters. Like, it is some like weird shit. So this is not out of the realm of possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe since it is like a person's body, you're like possibly like revenant demon thing, but you don't know living here how that process possibly goes. But none of it seems like it is a immediate thing. Like, all the mutations in people are mutations. And he doesn't look dead or hurt, you know.
I think Cora would look to Virginia and be concerned. I'm not sure we should take him out of here or have anybody climb down here right now.
You say as you see Sheriff Sam coming down the road behind you. What?
Get there, Sheriff. We're all coming up. We're all coming up. We'll figure this out up in daylight. Come on, you big bag of money. Let's get going. And I'm gonna like take him by the arm or by the elbow and bring him over to the thing. And Virginia's
pro clutches.
Virginia's gonna give a whistle as my trusty steed, Lightning, fine horse, shows up to help haul this guy up out of this hole.
Nice.
We're gonna tie him, and Lightning's gonna know how to get this guy out of the mine by just dragging him up the hole.
You whistle and you hear a neigh and like a ton of miners like screaming and trying to stop this horse. As you hear a rumble, I'm gonna tick the clock again as he's pushing through debris and making a fucking hole.
As it should be.
To get to you.
Eleanor, how much of this sort of, I mean, it seems like you're pretty open about drawing this image of this new pale horse rising, this new blade, whatnot. You're not being too secretive about that, right? That like this is a bit, you know, a vision you had or something. I sort of poke you after you're done, and I sort of point at that fourth blade, that new jutting, and I point it at Ace, and I kind of look at you like questioningly, and I don't know if there's a way to see if somebody is Hellstone possessed, but I would like to try. I would like to attune, which I am not good at all, but I'm going to check off arcane implements because, again, I've got all the crap in the world sitting on me, which is a vial. What's that?
I'll help.
Oh, awesome.
Can Virginia be going up with this person right now while this is happening?
Well, I think the sheriff also is like kind of like leaned over and has a hand down ready to like.
I feel like I want to do this before he's actually left, but it can't be like, I don't know, right? I want to like force him on him.
Maybe I'm getting him like attached to the rope.
You're tying him up and getting
the
ready
sheriff's
to rope.
tying onto the saddle of your horse while the
horn.
And I absolutely need Cora's help because I want you to, keep him distracted so he doesn't notice as I come over. But I'm kind of looking at Eleanor like, which of these do you think would work? Is it the frog skin we put against the back of his head, or do we pour the quicksilver down his pants, or is the black salt we shove up his nostrils? Right? Like, I'm kind of looking at you like, I got all this stuff I stole off a witch, but I don't know how any of it works.
Have I like seen this before? Like,
I feel like you look at the pack. I feel like you look at the pack that Leigh and Sarah has, and it has your initials on it. Like you were the witch that it got stolen from at some point.
You just roll a tune, and we'll see what happens.
Me.
Well, no, I think it's just Sean is. He was just talking.
Oh yeah. Go.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to take over, if you want to be like Lion Sarah, you don't know what you're doing. But
no, you do it. You go for it.
I have no dots in a tune, but that's not going to stop me from
I give you.
I got you. Gotta help.
Cora's giving me a dot.
Cora's like black salt up the nose every time.
It'll make
so you get one person to help, and you take a devil's bargain. You got 2 dice right there.
Exactly. I'm pushing myself.
There you go.
For an extra die. So what's the position effect? I want to figure out what I want to know. I want to attune, which is to attune to the supernatural beings like spirits, demon, the undead. I want to figure out if he's been possessed or something like that. Okay. If there's some bit of the hellstone that's affected him. And I got some accoutrement to try and figure out if it
Yeah.
works.
I'm
Bring some
gonna
sage
put
in
it at
action.
risky because this is some otherworldly weird shit you
Yeah.
have never messed with, and you
Nope.
could easily make an issue of something that was a non-issue for yourself seconds ago.
You are still standing next to a skyscraper's worth of
Yes.
hellstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
Go on.
if I could, I would like to take a devil's bargain instead of pushing myself. If this sounds
Okay.
good to you, I'd
Okay.
like to break a little bit of that hellstone off and like mix it in the elixir. I'd like to add another tick to the clock, to the everything.
That's-
Yeah.
I got a glove on. I'll be safe.
This guy is about to just.
I think he's like looking. You're looking. Lancer is looking at this, and before Eleanor can even react, you've walked over to where a big jag of it has been left, easily grabbable from her
Yeah.
slab, and just yank it off. You see that this just lightning bolt of red and orange energy just snake out, and at this, Sheriff Sam notices a lightning of red energy and leans over and he's like, "What the hell are you doing? You trying to cave us in more? Is that, oh God." And he's like leaning way over
Yeah.
at all of
Don't worry,
this as
Sheriff.
everything's starting to shake. A 3-foot section of the platform that y'all are on slides off. No one's standing on it, but just like breaks off, and bits from God knows where, like half a tree falls down. Like you're like, where the hell did that happen?
Cora just yells, "Get everybody out!" Sheriff, get everybody out!
And right in that moment when Cora's got Ace distracted, that's when I'm going to come over and like crumble the hellstone dust on him and pour the black salt and rub some frog skin on the back. This is normal.
All the things.
Yep.
See if he catches on fire. All right. Risky standard.
Uh-huh.
All right. And I got 2 bonus dice. Can I do it?
Oh!
Do it at all. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Oh boy.
That hurt.
You've got some fun options.
Oh no.
You try this and he doesn't react. No movement, no change to this. As Sheriff Sam starts to pull him up now, he's in a little harness like under his arms, and he's just like,
And Virginia's
thank
riding
you.
up with him. Like Virginia
Yeah.
got his hand on the rope. He's like walking up the wall,
yeah. As y'all are going off, but you notice that from almost like the position that he was standing in, that some of this hellstone had like sprinkled down that you had thrown on him, seems to do that same thing that the one did in the hall, of where it looks like a little source of heat with a trail behind it that goes straight into this wall. And you see what looks just be like a little glowing ember section that then grows and grows and grows as all of this starts to crack, and you can feel the shake. You got to get the fuck out. Y'all have 1 tick left of this fucking clock.
Oh my god.
So we are now, anything you're gonna do is desperate as fuck, as you quickly realize that where this ember's growing and the cracks are breaking, that this section of normal dirt that you're standing on is starting to pull away from the wall, showing more hellstone down. As everyone, what y'all do?
I would like to release some rope from my kit down to the folks that are imminently dying, and I will give aid to one of you on your climb up, because I'm already halfway up this wall
Get the heck out of there.
at this point.
Seems prudent.
Everybody.
Yeah, I think Lion Sarah's like, well, he looks like he's fine, but we should get the hell out of here.
Yeah. If no one else is going to take it, I'm going to take that aid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up on the wall.
Should we make another
Roll.
another group action to get everybody scramble out here?
Yeah, I don't mind leading this one
Yeah.
because I'm already halfway up.
Yeah.
Or
you
I
sound-
had started to ascend, and I've got lightning helping pull, yeah, Virginia's right next to his big bag of money, on the way up this wall. So
This is desperate.
I think so.
What's the effect?
What is it if you?
Well, how far?
You
How
die.
far are we getting with this roll? Are we getting up to that next ledge, or are we getting like out of the mine?
We'll do out of the mine. So this will kind of be. I'll let you really rush through. You're gonna be able to get up, dodge rocks, and GTFO. I don't fully know. I would just put standard because I don't really
The
know.
way you described it sounds like standard, right? Like
Yeah.
if you're saying we're going to get out with this one action, we can get out. It feels to me like prowl is the right action again because that is the thing we're climbing and moving and all that jazz. Yeah. I'm down
Can I
with
take aid and push myself?
Mhm.
Okay, then I will be doing that.
that. You can.
Well, I'm leading this charge, so
Yeah.
I better hold on
Yeah.
to some of my grit when people start failing.
Hey, but we're all going to get XP. We're all taking the desperate action.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If I use an item, does that help give me dice or anything?
Typically,
changes.
gear will improve your effect or position, right? If you have something, you're like, oh, I can make this safer for all of us by using this thing, or I can improve our purchase. We might get better effect or better position.
Oh, sorry, I was being selfish. I was thinking of myself.
Totally fair. Totally
You
fair.
could do that and be like, I'm not going to be part of this group action. I'm going to get out on my own. And you could do it all on your own. And maybe you would only have a risky chance of doing it. Like you could be like, forget the group action.
Well, I'm trying to think. Shit, because I also need something because I have nothing in prowl.
Well, we take the best result of everybody. So you
Sure.
don't have to roll well. You'll just cause stress to Virginia.
Yeah. 'Cause
Um,
Virginia's getting you all out no matter what, as long as one of us rolls well enough.
As long as one of us makes it.
Gotcha. The pushing yourself, is that adding grit?
Yeah,
Mhm.
you take
Take
2 grit.
2 grit. Okay.
To get a bonus
I will do that. Because I haven't used any of that yet.
Who's rolling first, guys?
I rolled and wait, no. Oh, we both got 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh wait.
Lion Sarah got a
Lion
6
got a
though.
6.
Lion
Lion-
Sarah
that
got a
was
6.
my 2 roll.
Oh,
Chris!
no.
Was it great?
Super
Was it
climber,
great?
super climber, Cora.
Standard.
And
Everybody's
itchy.
rolling 6s.
I got 1.
You got a fire lit on your ass, nearly literally.
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
Mark your XP. Desperate action.
Yeah, market and prowess.
So
Did anybody fail? I failed.
You did.
Oh,
You
no.
And what
You
about
yourself, Greg.
what about Blair? Did Blair is a 4 is a mixed
No,
success?
four does not cause you any trouble.
Okay, cool. Then I will take my extra stress for being a dum dum, and Virginia had to really like hoof it to get everybody out with the horse and everything, just like
Yeah.
all kinds of things.
I think at first your instinct was I'm gonna jump on my horse and then realized immitely you're gonna
That's
smack
not
your
gonna
head.
work. No, and I can't put my big bag of money on the horse either because I need the bag of money to make it. So like, we just good, perfect, thank you.
Love it. All right. So y'all are able to real quick. Virginia tosses down an extra rope tied onto the horn there of the saddle, and y'all are able to just like a amazing feat of athletics for some of y'all to grab on, like run, jump, grab onto this rope as the ground just drops from below y'all, and you see that just lightning strike of red and orange energy just down impossibly deep. And you climb up, the horse now kind of running and helping pull the whole rope with all of y'all up at this point, and you're able to get up on your feet and run through, dodging. Thankfully, this is a very rocky section of it in the way of like, it was very solid rock. So you got a little bit of a help there. We'll say that like horse, Virginia, Moneybags, and Cora get out the front exit as then, Lion, Sarah, Eleanor, and Itchy, y'all are right up on their heels when that board that Itchy had put up collapses and the wall falls in front of y'all. So y'all snake off to the side and go through Eleanor's perfect little hole shape, and you're able to sneak through. We'll say, Lion Sarah, you're the last one out right as the shake then like shifts this crack and just smushes it almost closed as you pull out of the side. Maybe one of your baubles kind of got stuck on it.
Oh yeah,
And it's just
I
like
think the
embedded
frying
in this
pan
rock
probably got
now.
caught. Oh my god!
Yeah, you're like,
Knife and have to cut it free.
yep. And she'll stand out there. Everyone now pretty much dusted in some redstone residue. Most you can see of the townsfolk and the miners have kind of started to make their way out. But the sheriff is just standing there with his like hands on his knees, bent over like, holy. What? Well, goddamn.
Mighty fine leadership there, Sheriff. You got everybody out safe. You're our man, Marshall.
I think I want to retire. I don't know if I want a promotion. Yeah. Well, we got most of the miners heading back. If y'all want to be a part of the wagon, we can get back to town. I know they'll need your help, Cora.
All right with you, given the nature of what people think it's best if we put a bag of money here in a secure location. Maybe Cora goes back with the people who help with medical. Two of us, the town, ask too many questions. I'll have to roll sway.
Yeah, roll for it.
I want to assist by just walking up and just being covered in freaking hellstone dust.
Yeah,
like.
Remember in the beginning of the game, I had this tan yellow hat from the dirt. Now it's just red. It's just red dirt, red dust.
Yeah, so I'm gonna spend a grit just to be standing there. Like, this is what you want, Sheriff? You want this? You want this coming back?
Yeah.
Those strawberry preserves look red now instead of brown.
Oh, I wouldn't eat that if I were you.
No. Oh, what is my position?
Just to leave it at a good at controlled.
Okay.
You know, like this picture you're painting is.
It sells. All right.
It sells.
All
It
right. So is it standard effect? Like if I
get
my way? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And one bonus. I thank you so much. Find. Hey,
there you go.
I needed that for a clean getaway from get out of Dodge.
He's like, all right. You know, I mean, I guess the marshal did ask for you specifically, so it's a bit over my head. That seems smart. I think all y'all should maybe find some water somewhere and clean up. Folks aren't going to be too happy about all this, especially y'all getting in. Looks like some of you elbows deep in the shit, looking over at Eleanor.
Hands are clean.
All right. Well, Miss Cora, I don't know if you want to travel with them, or quite a few of our miners here seem to be experiencing some sort of shock. They won't move, they won't talk, and I want to make sure they're not suffering some sort of brain injuries. Right.
My internet just froze up. If you guys can hear me.
Yeah, now okay.
Really now.
Still freezing.
Oh no! Oh, so y'all do.
It's
look
been
over.
doing this all night, so.
Oh no!
Can you hear us now? No.
I'll type to her.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah, y'all look over at this wagon that had shown up, and there are quite a few miners, and there's some of them are, bandaging up their buddies, but a lot of them have that same far off catatonic stare that your buddy here has.
I'm gonna stay with the miners, and not go with the guy that I really do think is possessed.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take care of these people.
Yeah. You walk over, and kind of get closer, and some of them are just very badly bandaging, like sprained or broken arms, that you kind of take their hand from them and do it real quick, perfectly great. But there are about 5 miners that are in this wagon here specifically that are sitting up against the edge, and the sheriff kind of walks over. We had to carry these guys out. They weren't talking, they're not walking. About the only thing they said is one of them said they wanted rescued and to get home, and then they've just been staring. They won't drink water. They don't look hurt too bad.
Can I look in their eyes? Look.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same?
It's a little harder to tell down here because it is sunny, but you get in real close and you're looking and you see a little ember kind of shoot off in one of their eyes.
What's the other town, Taylor?
Mudwater's the big one, the main one. It's like 2 buildings bigger than yours.
They don't have to.
It's the big city,
and they're preserved in the same building. So.
But if they got a Dairy Queen, that's a big town.
Dairy Q.
Yeah, that's right.
It's too early for Dairy Queen.
Sheriff, it may be smart to send these men to Mudwater. They'll know how to handle this better.
Oh, okay.
I think it's some kind of hellstone poisoning. Maybe. I could be wrong, but I don't know if we want to deal with that in town because I don't know how to care for it.
All right. Well, y'all look up as he kind of looks, and the sun's about to set over like behind some hills. Like, well, it's getting late. Well, if we get them back to town, we'll make sure everyone's quarantined there at the hospital. We'll cancel school for the next couple of days so they're not in the building.
Okay.
The downside of sharing space.
That's perfect.
Perfect.
I like it.
And we'll see if we can get some armed folks together to escort them or something.
Maybe they'll snap out of it. They don't look too affected, maybe, but let's just get them to a safe place then if we can't get them over to Mudwater.
All right. We'll do. And he looks over to Ollie. Y'all know he makes wagons. He used to have a farm before everything dried up, so now he just makes wagon wheels, just the wheels. The spokes for the wheels. And he hayas, and you see them kind of take off. And the sheriff hops on his horse right behind him and follows.
I'm going to go with them.
That'll end well.
Okay. All right. So, Cora, you're following suit.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else with your money bag.
Take this big bag of money to a place that is not... I want to find a place that's not being used, right? I'm going to take some turf, right? Or whatever I got to do. I'm going to find a spot to stash this guy.
I made a place just for this.
I was going to say, there's I would say about, for ease sake, about the same amount of ride time from town is Heather's creation of Runner's Shed. It's kind of like a public campground kind of thing, of where it's always stocked with goods and anyone can stop and take a rest out of the weather if they need to. But who runs it, what faction, none of that is really known. But it's usually a good, especially for anyone that's had to go through Hellstone Canyon and had a hell of a fight before they go somewhere else. This is a great place to kind of lick their wounds and
sounds perfect.
Chill. Mm-hmm.
Just as a question on time, much more do we have for adventure?
Just a little.
Okay.
And more, I think it'll be a little vignette. That
Sounds good.
just because I had one more little scenario, but I'm not going to do that because we have too much time. So maybe this will tease that we just got to play this again. Y'all go to Runner's Shed. Cora, you head back to Desert Hollow. For those with the money bag here, what is your general plan? Want to get out of having him here before you make it to the marshal? Kind of, what's your thought?
Unanswered questions, don't we? About situation. I mean, Virginia doesn't, but the crew does. Virginia just wants to get paid. But
Well, he did steal a bunch of money. Like, he's a bank robber, right? Like,
Bank robber, stagecoach, like
so
lot
he
of
had
robbing,
a lot of money.
and it's hidden.
So yeah, we want to know where his what tree he buried all that gold under. You know what. So I think that's worth finding out before the marshal picks him up.
Yeah, like it.
But I mean, I think Lion Sarah is convinced. Oh, he's fine. You know, I rubbed the frog skin on him, and he didn't burn. But Sean is like I know something's wrong. But I think Sarah's just like, all right, yeah, he just got clocked on the head. He's fine. Where'd you leave your cash?
I think Eleanor would probably take this as an opportunity to try and like test some stuff out, like see if there's anything that she has that could like I know Lion's Hair just did all this perfectly.
Perfectly, yeah.
But probably like maybe even like a little bit like further than that, really like testing out like, does this work, like anything that she has in her pack and stuff. So that could be useful. Shit. Find crafting tools. I'm crafting tinctures and more balms and anything to try and like shake him from this mess.
Okay.
So find crafting tools and would this be reading or crafting? Crafting.
How do you want to solve the problem?
I would like to craft things to I would like
And
to
it's
craft
crafting
things
check.
to
I feel like you're making one of those like pH testers or some kind of like some sort of like I'm gonna have all these like allergen testers. Like, does it respond to this? Does it respond to this?
Yeah.
You have to rub the swab in his nose and then put it in the test and wait 15 minutes.
For sure. Also,
Best. What's he got going on? What's up with this dude? Concussed.
Also, I forget every single time that I get to pick what I do, so that's gonna happen every single time. Okay, so if I craft, I have +2 in craft,
Nice.
and then if I use a tool, does that do anything, or am I just like, yay?
Didn't you? Yeah. Didn't? Or was it Cora? Someone had a thing that if you use one of your goodies, you get a +1 to the roll for your feat.
Oh, I use my special ability.
That was your special
to
ability.
wow
Never mind.
everybody with my
Yeah, that's what it
irons
was.
flipping.
Okay.
It's like, all right, now listen up
Yeah.
here.
Generally, gear just either makes something possible that wasn't possible before. Like you can't say I climb down the thing if you don't have the rope in the first place, right? Or you can't say I tie the person up if I don't have the rope, right? Or it can improve your. If you could do it normally, but you have the gear to help you, then it improves your position or effect. Like,
That's right.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and say like because with the fact that a lot of what you have is now unrefined hellstone on anything that you're creating with, and then this unknown thing with having the right tools and your knowledge, I'll dump that down to controlled instead of like risky, where I probably would have put it before. With then put it at a great effect, because if you do this real good.
Would anyone like to be my lab assistant? Yeah. Let's go,
I will
Itchy.
assist you in this, and then Itchy will need a minute afterwards.
Ah!
All right.
Trauma number
Nice.
1 for the night.
So I get a bonus die, and let's go. Oh, 163.
Whew.
Nice.
Sweet.
Nice. Okay. So you try a few different things. And it seems like any time you put any sort of like hellstone type property, whether that be a balm, a tincture, or whatever, when hellstone is included and when it is not, there is only a reaction from him when hellstone is included. And it's barely anything but maybe a little like twitch like of a smile, just barely in the corner of his mouth, or a little flash of the embers in his eyes. And it almost, I would say, like even with the balm, you can almost, now that it's kind of dark, you're doing this at, sun is setting and it's real quiet, you can almost see a glow in his veins that like almost attract to kind of wherever that hellstone property is that you're like putting on them.
Ooh, okay.
But then after a bit, you hear him whispering, and it's real quiet and it's real mumbly and you can't quite hear it first. But then it gets a little louder and you're like, what? It sounds like he's reciting a Bible verse.
Oh no. Oh no.
When the Lamb broke the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth living creature say, "Come." I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and he who sat on it had the name Death, and Hades was followed with him. Authority was given to them over a fourth of the earth, to kill with sword, with famine, and with pestilence, and by the wild beasts of the earth. And then he just goes back to staring. But that's all like whispered. I don't know if my mic could pick me up if I whispered it, so imagine it being really creepy.
I think Virginia
It was
shoots
creepy.
him. I think if that happened, I think Virginia would, because this has been weird. This has been weird the whole time. I think that Virginia's finally broken. It's just like,
What part of it? When did it start being weird for you?
yeah,
That's a
no,
lot.
this is now too much. This is too much. I think I would be like, I think it'd be totally fair for somebody to happen. Like if somebody doesn't want it to happen, totally fair for somebody to stop Virginia. But he's like, no, this is it. This is now the moment. I don't need you to be alive for me to get this bounty. And now you're way too far.
You're a creepy money bag. I need you to be a silent
I need
money
you to
bag.
be quiet money bag, a compliant, quiet money bag.
I think Eleanor will. I think Eleanor's going to resist it. Like, probably, it's kind of like she's really intently like listening to this, like trying to focus, like really pick up what it is. So maybe it's like in the last second, like as you pull it out and you have it, like
he's like, oh, this. He like has to cross the room to get to his irons, and like that's when you know it's gonna happen. And so yeah. Give me a resist. Pick how you're resisting. So are you gonna use your wits, your prowess, or your guts to?
I'm gonna use prowess. Okay, just a question. So we got, because of those things that were desperate, we got like the XP. Was that supposed to be down by playbook advancement or right next to prowess?
Should be in prowess. Yeah.
Okay. So I have. Does that mean I have +2 in prowess?
No. It when that track fills up, then you get to add 1 dot in prowess. So the XP isn't doing anything right now, but once it were fill up in a longer term game, you get to add another dot in prowess ability.
Okay. So, oh no, bonus die, just go it. Okay.
But how much stress do you take in stopping me?
Yeah, you always succeed. It's just a question of how much stress you're gonna take.
Yeah, you're stopping me. Just a matter, yeah.
Oh, wait. Sorry, this is where I'm like.
Virginia doesn't want to hurt you, so like if you get, like you're gonna be able to stop Virginia.
Okay. Is stress and grit the same thing or different?
Sorry, we use stress because that's what they call
Stress
it.
and blades, but grit in this.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, she'll do a point in
roll your prowess, and then we'll see how much.
Oh,
Yeah. You
Oh.
click on cross and then you just hit roll, and it'll say you take this much grit.
Gotcha. Ooh.
Oh, you take a lot of grit.
So 4.
4 grit.
Yeah.
4
To
grit.
stop me.
2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. Yeah, she's getting like right in between, like.
Yeah. Awesome.
You and him.
That's enough. It's a really tense scene, right? Like Virginia's probably yelling at you, and
Yeah.
you're like, "No, I'm not." Like, doesn't get to die just because you're weirded out.
Oh yeah, and she's like, she isn't even. It's not even like. Sadly, it's not even like about him. It's more like the research.
Yeah, I know.
Who cares about this guy?
The science.
Or is the only one of us that actually cares about people's that actually cares about anybody? All the rest of us are just like, I want my stuff.
Yeah. Oh wait, did you have a thing?
Yeah, so I think as you two are like kind of there doing that, like you do the testing thing, and like Virginia's like, I'm gonna get my gun. As you kind of like resolve that, like you hear like the door just like slam shut, and like Itchy's just not even in the room. I think there's like a little shot of like Itchy and his gray horse out where they make a little fire like a ways away from the house, and it's him with like a spyglass, because I'll check the outdoor survival kit, so I have that.
Nice.
And he like lines it up, and he looks where like the blades are, as like the sun's like going down behind, and you can just see, and like you can see when he looks, it's like there's the blades, and then he sees like that red extra one that was in your drawing. And I think when he like just puts it back down, there's like some of those little sparkles in his eye.
Very nice. I take it you've got filled up on grit, so you're taking a stigma. Is that what's happening?
Awesome.
Yeah. You get taken out of scene. And if we're, I feel like we're kind of at like the epilogue, right? Like the wrap up scene. I feel like if Itchy is left and you two are in each other's faces, that's when the camera, and you're yelling at each other, that's when the camera like hears the belt drop and all the accoutrements kind of like clatter to the ground as Lion Sarah like gets up, and like last thing we see is she's saddling her horse to get the hell, like, I'm not going back to that jail, right? Like
This is the time. This is the moment.
Yeah, right. Like, everyone else is distracted. Cora's gone. You two are fighting. Itchy's gone. So Sarah makes her leave.
That's good.
Yeah.
So between the two left in the cabin, how are you resolving in this fight to shoot this guy?
Yeah, I think that like gets frustrated is like, all right, but if he does anything weird, what's the cutoff when we just get to put him down? Come to some sort of agreement. You know, we come up with whatever that is.
Yeah, she might like say something, but to Eleanor, the limit does not exist.
I love it. I love it. We both walk away like, yeah, huh?
Yeah.
And so Virginia like hangs out on like some, what are they had like rope beds, right?
Yeah.
Like spun rope beds that are super uncomfortable. Like Virginia's like on that, just kind of like leaned up in this room. So there with his irons on him and like watching his heyday. And it's just like,
yeah. Where is Eleanor closing out? Or what's your stance?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the rest of you like it, but I kind of like just her like throughout the night, just continuing to like test out things. Like she's like not really like, and maybe it's like fading out if we want to leave it at like a little like, who knows? But I think she would keep trying, but I think ultimately she would fail. I don't think she has what she needs to get like actual answers. I don't think it gets creepier than that, like what we already saw.
You think that as you're sitting there doing little experiments, Virginia, you're leaned back just listening. And you know how out in the middle of freaking nowhere, sound just carries on the wind so easily. Y'all hear a whispered deep kind of laugh. And then you hear Itchy's voice on the wind and kind of this like trancy, melodic tone. What are you saying, Itchy, as you sit with your horse and stare at the fire?
He's out there. He's petting his gray horse named Steel, because on a steel horse he rides. He says, the horsemen are drawing nearer. On the leather steeds they ride. They have come to take your life on through the dead of night. With the 4 horsemen ride, or choose your fate and die.
Those words echo on the wind. And Cora, you hear them too, as every single patient in the hospital says in unison, in almost the same exact voice, those exact words. What closing, what would you like to try to do with the 5 miners here?
I drug
just yourself.
I drug the hell out of him. I just do it.
Got there. They all do venture off to sleep. And you kind of stressed, obviously, little unnerved, walk out onto the front of the hospital steps there where, you can see your tree, the moon. It's usually a nice, like, relaxing kind of breathing moment. But you realize the town is so quiet. You don't even hear a rustle in the leaves. You don't hear a bird. You don't hear a distant coyote. You don't hear people. And then you hear a low kind of chant. And you see a flash of red light from by the church there in the cemetery, where you look over and you see standing perfectly still and straight, hearing this voice, multiple different miners and townfolk that came to help y'all with the rescue effort are all in this trance-like scene, standing in a circle, this glowing kind of fire in the middle of them that seems to turn redder and redder. What is your last thought as we close when you see this?
She's going to see that, and then she's going to walk to her tree and sit underneath it.
Okay.
And pray.
The tree is right there by the graveyard, and you're able to see everything that's happening. And you begin to pray, and you feel, a bit of comfort being at your tree, and that until you hear behind you the clop of horse hooves. I don't know, maybe 4 sets worth, as we then close on this episode, A Fistful of Darkness.
Wow.
We played a cowboy game, and I don't think one single gun was shot.
I tried real hard.
Yeah. If I would have done the rules better, we would have been faster, and y'all would have had to take on the cult or people. But we didn't make them. That's fine. That's why we just have to play again. And maybe, the 4 horsemen are already here. I don't know if y'all want to play this scenario again. Maybe different.
Play the big town over when we hear that this town is destroyed.
Yeah. Heather was like, I really like this character, and I was like, yeah, maybe we could do a season or way earlier or whatever. She's like, or just after this. I'm like, yeah.
We all did.
That was good. Thank you, Taylor.
That's great.
Yeah, good job. Thank y'all for teaching me how to play this game.
It was a delight. It was very fun.
Well, before we do, I guess, our thing, Sean, do you plug yourself? Where can people come see you? All that good fun stuff.
Are we doing that thing?
We're doing the thing.
We're all local.
So I've got,
you're the special.
They know
I've got half
us.
an hour, right? Yeah, thank you so much for having me on the show. This has been a blast. It's my first time playing Fistful of Darkness, and it was a hoot and a nanny. It was a hoot nanny, and yeah, it was just very cool hanging out with all of you. I'm Sean Nittner. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Sean Nittner. Current projects that I've got going on is preparing for Big Bad Con, which is in October. It's a fantastic event with tons and tons of wonderful games just like this. It's in San Francisco, October 27th to the 30th. If you are thinking about coming, I highly recommend it. You can go to the site now. You can see what the games have already been submitted. You can run a game yourself. It's a great event, and I'm really proud of a lot of the big programming that we're doing around it as well. The other thing that I've got going on is a Story Synth micro grant, which is also funded through Big Bad Con. So if you like games that are sort of card driven and you would like a grant, a $300 grant to create your game on this platform that you own and completely have yourself, there's no charge at all to do it. We're giving out, we still have grants left for that. So that's also on the Big Bad Con website. And finally, in the publishing world, Apocalypse Keys is coming to Kickstarter on September 13th. It is the game of big monsters with even bigger hearts. Think about Hellboy meets Friends, but they're all gay. It's just a
That is my perfect game. Oh my god! I like nothing else.
It's a very good. I really love this game. And Ray Najati, the creator, I've played 10 sessions with him, and it's just been so much fun. And he's just poured years of work into this, and it's just this big, chunky, amazing game. So yeah, there's more other Evil Hat stuff going on, but I don't actually want to take half an hour. So that will be my my pitch for the evening.
I did see that tweet earlier and instantly was like, retweet for the HSC, because I knew like everybody here would be like, what is that? So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I don't know a ton about Friends, but you said gay Hellboy.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah, it's more that. It's the fact that all these like monsters that could cause the apocalypse are also like rooming together and like having live in bunk beds while they like stop volcanoes from rupturing universes and trying not to become apocalyptic monsters themselves. It's a lot of feels. You have to unlock the apocalypse by unlocking your heart.
Oh, I love it.
I love this.
So excited. I also want to, if this will play this song. Oh, it got really loud for me. Why is it so loud for me? Yeah, did it not? Oh, here, this is why, because I just previewed it. Let me put it here.
Anticipation.
One of a friend of the show, Gunmetal's friends, Ghost of Red Mountain on YouTube, made this song, and it is freaking amazing, and let us use it for stuff. And I just want to pump them because everything else is Epidemic Sound, which is super freaking awesome. But
that's awesome. That's
original. So stinking good. It's called The House Always Wins. Perfect Western vibe name.
Very good. Love it. Very good.
But other than that, Thursday.
Yeah, so
is our next thing.
Is going to be Red Markets. And folks, we're gonna sign off. We're gonna raid. We love to raid other channels here, so we're gonna raid over to Perception. They're playing some sort of role playing. I can't really tell which game they're playing, but we're gonna head over there and give them some love. So, joining us tonight, Sean, thanks a ton for joining us as well.
Thank you so much for having me. It was
awesome, and Taylor, awesome putting all this together.
Yeah, Taylor, this was great.
So fun.
Great scenario.
I y'all liked it.
Well, everybody at home, thanks a ton for watching. As always, have fun.
May all your rolls be crits.
Stop it.
Bye-bye.